Okay. Okay. Friends. Family. Puppies. We are back for another day, another good day. Hello. Hello, friends. How you doing? There's no lights on back there. Hold on. Wait, we can fix this. Get on. There we go. I need a little more color back there. It's got to be pretty. How you doing? Welcome in, folks. Good to see you. Come on, y'all, wake up. We're a little quiet today, starting off. Quieter kind of day. Is it Saturday? Are you all late getting out of bed? Or is the monthly report just not as shiny this month as it normally is? I'm not gonna lie. It's a smaller monthly report, but it's still got some good news in it. Let me tell you, stuff's not slowing down. I'll tell you that much. That's usually the months around CitizenCon are a little more boring on the monthly report, but this is good. This is good. I think this might be the last one we get this year, though. So enjoy it while it's here. Usually they do November and December. They release them together in January. So we might miss the next 2 months. But hi, welcome in. Good to see you. Sit down. Let's chat. Grab a coffee, grab a tea. How do? 07s. How do? Jaybird, good to see you. Tehran, Punji with the toes. Horsky, Cactus, Zoster, Seemicd, Got Wheeze. Okay. Lincoln, 07's good to see you. Corin, how you doing? The man, the myth, the legend, the berry. Space Tomato. I need one of those mics that drops down from the ceiling. Wouldn't that be great for a streaming mic instead of one of these? Guess that'd kind of get in the way. But if you like box with it and stuff in the meantime. Black Jane. Hello, JT, Xander, Ethnification, good to see you. Axis, your mom says hello. She's a fan of your voice. Big shout out to your mom. I hope she's doing fantastic, having a good day. Good breakfast and stuff, you know? Shogi, hi. Raygun, Starcar, Bizzo, Space Cucumber, Space Onion, Space Pepper, Space Paprika, Space Pickle. Hot chocolate. JT just trying to get the conversation started immediately today. I see you. Just gonna throw in some triggering words like that. Hot chocolate. Okay. No, because I said tea and coffee. I get you. Combat. What's up? How you doing? Welcome in. Toyton. Invictus 07s. Folks, how's your week been? Oh, I guess I've been with you the whole week. How has your weekend started? How have things been going? Anybody in Pyro today? I'm thinking if we can finish this monthly report in a good amount of time, we jump into Pyro for a bit. Yeah. We can hop on in Pyro, do a little bit of exploring, maybe check around the space station a bit. I did Pyro at CitizenCon. I have not played it yet. Man, but it's big. There's a lot to explore, so I didn't get to see much, and I am really excited to get back into it. I gotta make a video for that. Maybe not next week. Next week's... I've got some special plan for next week. Speaking of breakfast, it's time to get cooking. What you having? Decibels Beats. Yo, how's it going? A cold cup of Joe. I like that. Think we're gonna get the November report, but not the December till next year. We'll see. Colt just joined the org last night. Can't wait to multi-crew with y'all. I think we've got a multi-crew event going on today. No, we've got boxing going on today and bunker raiding. Our next multi-crew event is going to probably be tomorrow, it looks like, if you want to jump in. You got bored of Pyro vicariously already. Not pretty enough to keep your attention? Wonder if the 3 currently available planets still have bigger area orbit-wise than Microtech? I think they're closer than we're used to. Oh, actually no, Pyro is a bigger system. Guess we could check that out today. Dark coffee for breakfast. Eggs, maybe some quesadillas. I love a good breakfast burrito. Steak and eggs with Wagyu. Ooh, Wagyu beef. Special, fancy. I will be doing a healthy dose of water and a good cup of tea. And a little num-num on a Star Citizen development report. You guys ready for that? Maybe I'll go get some baklava. My Mrs. Tomato made some baklava yesterday. She's such a great chef, it's ridiculous. She just whipped out some baklava, and My mom was gonna try some, and she's like, you guys didn't make this, right? And I was like, no, yeah, she did, and she lost it. She's like, what? You can't just make baklava. Helps to be Turkish. So maybe I'll eat that. That's really good stuff. Pyro missions really are best with friends. Aw. See? Look at Pyro, bringing people together. Whether in fighting or in helping each other. Pyro looks really cool and obviously brimming with potential, but the fact that it's standalone reskin of Stanton with very little new gameplay really takes away from it. I'd rather keep it fresh and do it when it exists live. That is all. Fair. You'll be online tonight with Astropub for his event from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. this evening. If that's p.m., then I'll probably be in that conversation. Don't drink the water, so I've heard. Oh yeah, love some Turkish food. Love some Turkish food. Pyro makes Stanton feel very undeveloped. That's how I felt. Pyro feels much more full-featured than Stanton. The places are more diverse. The areas are much bigger. There's a lot more variety and movement, so you can get multiple places in an area for a mission in multiple ways. It feels more like game spaces. Running missions in Pyro, from what I got to see, the little bit that I got to do at CitizenCon, felt more like the game version of Stanton being the test version, you know? So I'm thinking at some point Stanton's going to get a pretty big overhaul to bring it up to that standard, because now Stanton feels like an alpha to Pyro. Did someone reschedule? I don't know. You're going to have to check with Paul. Schedule's on Discord, though. I'm on tonight at some point. Yeah, there's going to need to be another pass on Stanton. We always know that. You go ahead and start this. As we know, every system, Pyro included, will get updates over time. That's one of the best parts about this game. That's why it's so great that they created their own engine. Like, they control it. They can do whatever they want with it for however long they want with it. We've seen it on Microtext Forests, Herson City, Crusaders Cloud area, all the moons, biomes, everything gets updated over time. So I think Stanton will get an update in a few years, like the different planets, probably the space stations, all that stuff. And then a few more years after that, it'll probably be another update. Honestly, with a company full of tools, Star Citizen CIG is going to have to figure out how to make a tool that can update all the star systems easily. Like, they have to make tools to make the stuff, and they have to make a tool that can apply the stuff easily, because they're going to have a lot of stuff to update at some point. Especially since Pyro stations seem to make use of nearly all of their size to suit interiors. Yeah, that's a big part of it, is all the spaces in Pyro feel bigger. They feel more full, more diverse, bigger. I really enjoy it. I can't wait to do more exploring. But first, we have a monthly report to go over. Kind of our favorite part of the month. Well, unusual months. October was a special one. And November will be a special one. So, you know, knocked down to number 3 top spot. I feel like that's saying something good. Let's start, though. AI features are our first area. No AI content this month, but we have really good news in AI features. Last month, AI features focused on bringing AI combat functionality from Squadron 42 to the PU for the Alpha 3.22 release. The first line. Praise be. Have you guys seen how the AI works? I'm not going to say it's award-winning. It's not the best AI in the world, but it does stuff. This involved introducing Squadron 42's accuracy calculation, perception reactions, ammo management, hazard avoidance, medic behaviors, and combat tactics. So all of those things we've been seeing since CitizenCon last year and prior, of AI helping each other up, healing each other, getting ammo, grabbing weapons. We've seen that a little bit in the PU, but it's coming in fully now, and until server meshing is in a good place, it's still not going to be the best. But when you do get on a server where there's not that many people and you're kind of running things at like a higher FPS, like 20 frames per second on the server. This is gonna be, that's gonna be a brand new experience. Yay. Now just fix the servers. So yeah, that's gonna be good. They said, we're really looking forward to you getting your hands on the updated AI combat and providing us feedback on it. Can't wait to see it. 3.22 sounds like a pretty cool update. I didn't think we were gonna get one. I thought 321.1 would be December. I'm actually kind of surprised to see them trying to get 322 in, and with some pretty interesting features. Continuing on, the team also ramped up bug fixing, which included improving firing validation to allow multiple observable points. This allows NPCs to fire at the player if they're behind chest-high cover. Before, they would only validate towards the aiming position, but not extend to the first visible observable position that validates successfully. So they would just like walk behind a little fence and not shoot you? I don't even think I ever noticed that. Issues with AI not reloading in cover, medic AI not correctly aligning with characters when healing, and AI not shooting while strafing were also fixed, along with a crash caused by navigation link raycasts. Medic AI not correctly aligning with characters when healing? I guess they mean with other AI. A new structure for AI combat dialogue in Wildlands was implemented, and the flow of first reactions before combat when standing in a usable was closed off. The team continued to polish the retargeted animations for Pyro's female combatants and civilians too. More of like the kind of general AI stuff we hear about. Overall, the most important part was that first point. The Squadron 42 AI is coming over to the PU. That's going to get things a lot more exciting when we're doing group FPS stuff. AI Tech. In October, the AI Tech team continued work on the boids system and Apollo subsumption tool alongside optimizations and improvements for the wider PU, Pyro, and CitizenCon. We obviously saw that. For the boids system, they began by fixing issues related to spawning and unspawning and moving properties for agents. They then iterated on and improved the rules for flying groups and updated the separation rule for a better I don't like this song. Can I change this? I hate it when the people come on whisper in my ears while I'm talking. Don't do that, music. Silly. Where was I? They then iterated on and improved the rules for flying groups and updated the separation rule for a better rapport between distance better rapport between distance and strength in relation to other agents. Functionality for adjusting position during animation transitions was also added, so that, for example, landing animations appear smoother. That's for boids though. I don't wait, is this for landing animations for boids? Is that what I'm reading about? In my head I'm like, oh cool, NPC pilots, AI pilots are gonna land smoother. No, I think this is literally for birds. The logic for spawning agents on navigation mesh was updated too. The next step for boids is to iterate on death states and how they transition into ragdoll. Freaking boid death states. Oh man. Monthly reports, just, they have the comedy gold. October saw the Apollo subsumption tool receive numerous improvements alongside bug fixing. For example, new functionalities were implemented to allow conversion between conversation activity and secondary conversation activity. The team also updated the sorting functionality for variables to allow manual reordering and refactored variable data to use less memory. Cheers to things that I don't really understand all that much, but we know what Apollo subsumption is. I won't show you. I do it every single month, but it is what drives AI forward. So anything that happens in the game to you is a lot of the times driven by subsumption. Nice to see AI back to standing on chairs in the EPTU. I mean, what are you gonna do if an AI is not standing on the chairs at Star Citizen? I personally don't want to play it if that's the case. Several AI systems were updated too. For collision avoidance, the team improved how they changed collision resolution mode between NPCs standing, moving, and sitting in a vehicle, or standing on a chair. Kidding. Added that last part. That was just for you, Jaybird. They also updated collision avoidance logic for cases when NPCs are part of the conversation, so that when computing nearby agents and obstacles, they can also account for conversation members and ignore them. What? They also updated collision avoidance logic for cases when NPCs are part of a conversation, so that when computing nearby agents and obstacles, they can also account for conversation members and ignore them. Is this talking about like when NPCs are talking and walking so they don't just run into each other? That's a little bit of a confusing sentence to me. I don't know who the they is at the end. They can also account for conversation members and annoy them. Are they talking about the NPCs that are part of the conversation or the nearby agents? Confused. The Orion has undergone work. It was a long time ago. It at the end of that sprint of work, it ended up increasing in size. It became much bigger, but I don't think they've touched it since then. I think the Orion is something that they're going to stay away from until they have their next version of mining working. Posted on GII Discord, found new personal storage container tractor beams in shops and tractor rifle test. Take a look later. Oh, I was looking for the tractor rifle yesterday. Did they just drop a new patch with that? I gotta check that out. I think this might be more about if the NPC is talking with someone and they come under fire. Okay. But why collision avoidance? Not moving out of the way for them when they are in conversation? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Tractor rifle is the handheld tool. It's rifle sized. That's what will actually pick up boxes instead of our multi-tool, the larger ones. Okay. On the behavior side, multiple improvements and integrations were completed for both ship AI and NPCs to add the same functionality from Squadron 42. AI Tech also continued the process of adding navigation anchors to more of their systems, which allows them to be more efficient in calculating and keeping track of where a position is on the nav mesh. Last month, the navigation anchors were added to the Pathfinder and the movement system component. Okay. I'd like to move on to things I understand more, please. Various bugs were also fixed through October, including with how cover locations are calculated based on the simplified cover path. As the team found a bug in the calculation, they could have led... As the team found a bug in the calculation that could have led to the creation of unnecessary cover and therefore excessive memory usage. I get memory leaks with Star Citizen, so I get super happy when I hear that they're covering things that might be leading to memory usage, because it gets... You know when you start to, like the game starts to chug and like hitch every 10 seconds or every 1 second? Gets... Oh god, it gets awful. The monthly status report sounds like this because computer science majors don't take enough writing courses in college. Man, they're just trying to get the info out, you know? They don't care if we can't read it or not. They're like, hey, we communicated it to you. Read it. I'm sure they do some effort there. Let's see. So you're talking about memory usage. They also fixed a scenario where planetary navigation mesh tiles were created and wrongly destroyed, even though there were still NPCs around the area. We don't want that. Honestly, we don't get enough planetary navigation from NPCs yet. It sounds like there's a lot more in Pyro, though, which is nice. The animation team spent the month delivering facial animations for combat AI, including female combatants and various background characters. They also planned out the required actions for some new creatures. All right. Let's start doing some video cross-reference. Where did they not upload the Star Engine trailer that they did? Is it just the panel? Why you do this, CIG?
Welcome to the
Why wouldn't they upload the Star Engine trailer onto their YouTube? Yeah, no, they did not. Interesting.
Up their scene to tell.
Well, let's see. Star Citizen, Star Engine, reshooting some segments. They don't even need to. It's just a full video, right? Is this it? Yeah. Board Gamers got it up. Thanks, Board. Well, let's see. What I'm trying to find are some of the aminals. Because they dropped some... They dropped some little things on us like this, right? The whale. So, this is not in-game, obviously. But they've teased this like 3 times now. And they covered it in ISC a while ago, and they've talked about it on several monthly reports. And I'm thinking it does exist. It does work. And it can run in the engine. And the only thing that it's been waiting for is the ability to run better AI in the game. So... when they talk about this stuff, what was it that they even mentioned? In the animations, I mean, this might not even be for the whale they're talking about. They might be talking about the cow. Either way, when they talk about it, I believe that these things are working. That they actually have this. Board wasn't at SitCon. I wish Board was at SitCon. I would have grabbed his ear for some commentary. Hope you get to ride the space whale. You can. You can land on them. Oh yeah. Let me show you. It is official. I don't actually know if I have that footage saved. Let's see. That is not how you spell whale. Yeah, look at that. See? Confirmed, you can land on them, and there will be little harvestable things that you can pick up with your multi-tool. Oh, and they're so pretty. So yeah, totally a thing. You'll be able to land on them and ride them and just soar off into the distance on your own space whale. Are there any other confirmed animals? There are. Let me show you. I've got a fauna folder here, and it literally just has a single file. Look at this. I have a folder labeled fauna, and when you click into it, it's literally just the space whale. So instead, how about we back it up and look at the actual fauna folder? Oh, plenty of Starfield stuff in here. Why did I do that? That's weird. Animal? What would I have labeled it? Beast? Monster? Crab? I think maybe I only have the concept art for it. Let's see. What's in that XXX folder? Naughty space cow shots. So we've got a couple of concepts. This is not a confirmed one, but it is one that they were looking into pretty heavily. We've got the Pyro whip crab, which we will be finding. I think this is on Pyro 2, I believe. And we've got the Boreal Stalker, which I've got here somewhere. Yeah, this thing's going to mess you up. And it's got little babies you can see down here. So like, these are the normal sized ones. This thing, that's too big. They actually teased one of these in a video when they were first teasing Pyro. It's very subtle. Here's some more concepts that they were going over. I will show you where this concept led. Oh, there it is. Boreal Stalker, where that concept went. And this will be on Microtech. So we've got the Pyro Whip Crab, the Boreal Stalker, the something grazer, I think it's called. Where is that thing? Where's my dang cow? Where's the cow? I just had it. It was just here. You got the space whale. And the wompa. Which I'm sure everybody believes does the whole blue milk thing. I can't find a... There we go. Space cow. Okay. There are our 4 fauna that are confirmed so far. The Stormwall on Crusader. The Quasi Grazer. I don't even know where this would be. It looked like Microtech. The Boreal Stalker on Microtech. And the Pyro Whip Crab in Pyro. That's what we've got confirmed so far. But they have shown other concepts. You see one of those T-posing in a cave? You can yourself. How would this T-pose? Where's the T, man? It's more of like a haunted X. Don't forget the Xiphopod on Hurston. Yeah, I figured those are basically boids. But those little creatures, yeah. Anyways, there's a freaking divergence, huh? Let's get back on topic. Back to the art section with characters. In October, the character art team began working on a racing flight suit and his helmet, started new creature models, there's creatures again, and prepared for CitizenCon. Alongside this, the character concept art team further explored ideas for fauna and medical outfits. You know what? Honestly, I'm about to quit this monthly report. They've made me go over art for the headhunters and the dusters for like 5 months, every month, without giving us any sort of graphics or footage to use to talk about it. Now we finally have the footage, and where is it? It's not on here, so we can't go over it. I mean, I get it. They finished it, and that's why we got it presented. But still, I'm going over it anyways. Maybe I can at least relate it back to this. Character concept team working on medical outfits and fauna. Yeah, I don't think I can relate that back to this. I don't even think they showed off any sort of medical outfits. The only medical outfits I can think they might have shown so far would be... here we go.
Call your doorbell camera company and cancel the subscription.
Hey, I appreciate you trucking through it. Come on, I'm not alone. I think we got some archetypes here. They did some discussion on this.
And then you look on the other side of the road, you're looking at, say, the utilitarian. Now, utilitarian adventurer, that's kind of like best-in-class climate control. So if you're going into these harsh environments that's extreme cold, extreme heat, or you're going into these, you know, really where it's got acid rain, that's when you want this pillar. And this pillar also includes where it's got like best-in-class inventory. So if you're going down mining and you want to say, I want to do one trip, I want to get everything while I'm there, you know, you're still going to be combat worthy. You're still going to be able to compete in combat, but you're giving up some things to get other benefits.
Shooty stuff, but I want to move on to the next important thing, which excites me, is the utilitarian play style. So these are some new concepts that we haven't shown yet. So this is the first time you guys are seeing some of these. If you look to the very left, is something, it's a utilitarian support class. So as you can see in the back, it's got a little bit of backpacks, so we have more consumables, more utility slots. So these, you would expect to see these guys in battle, but then I would probably see them behind, supporting your teammates, right? So you'd have your assault guy running around, and this guy would be like, hey, you need some grenades, bro? Or like, you know, you need some magazines, bro? But like we wanted to diversify the play style. So no longer will you, in the future, be wearing, I want to wear the CDS armor.
Okay, I'm getting a little bit off track here, but you guys want to see how crazy they're getting? This is... just for context, I realize I kind of dropped this on you guys. This is CitizenCon 4 years ago. This is 2019, and a lot of things have changed since then. But one of the things that I think one of the things that really proved true with this CitizenCon was that the things they were talking about then are happening now, and all the stuff that they were saying back then, it didn't really show up, but they're proving that they're sticking to it. So I think this kind of stuff is still going to be important considering where we're headed. Especially with armor. So I just want to take this opportunity to introduce you guys to kind of how modular the effects of armor are going to be and the armor itself. I'll let this run for a couple of minutes and then we'll get back to things.
Temperature, you know, bosh. We wanted to take into account, well, actually, the human body is all split up into lots of different scenarios. And so, you know, the body has a higher surface area, and, you know, it has a high density of blood vessels underneath the skin, and, you know, the head's got a high density of that. So in terms of heat loss or heat gain, these different body types, in terms of, or should I say, these different areas on the body, lose and gain heat at different rates. So if you've got something on your, you know, your torso, that's going to give you a greater benefit than, say, for example, if you just put gloves on. And so that's when we've got some examples here. So if you've got, say, the guy on the left who's basically just, you know, naked, his threshold is like, okay, if it's minimum 4 degrees, maximum 35 degrees, you know what? he'd be okay. But then you see the guy in the second right, he's put basically a jumper on, a coat, and that coat is basically giving him, it's pushing that threshold down. So that threshold now, as you can see, is -5 to 28. But because that's such a large surface area on the body, that's actually giving him a greater benefit than if he'd just put on shoes or a hat. And then you can see the guy in the middle, he's got full clothes on, so he's got shoes, he's got trousers, he's got a hat and gloves. And all of that is basically working towards saying, okay, this is the operating temperature. So when you actually go into these environments and your HUD is going to say, okay, or when you're looking at the star map, say, okay, what is the temperature in these planets? Is it day? Is it night? Where am I going? You have to choose which kind of clothing that you want to go for. And when you look at armor...
And so they started doing this a couple years ago, and it now happens. It's definitely a thing, and... You know, it's not super extreme, but they're only going to continue to dip deeper into that. And I thought they went over medical gear here. But I may have been wrong. Thought there was some medical armor somewhere in here. But can't find it. That being said, they did release some info about armor at the recent CitizenCon. Let's check that out real quick. It's like RimWorld clothing mechanics. Yeah, this is stuff that's done in other games. I don't think it's too crazy. It reminds me of other mechanics. Games like DayZ really focus on this kind of modular survival idea. Where was the mention of armor types? Is this it? I know it was Ian that was presenting. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's listen to what they were saying here about armor.
Armor progresses in strength. It's harder to acquire. So harder missions, rarer drops, higher reputation. Now, as we're talking a little bit about armor sets, let's recap a little. So the goal is that players should consider which armor to equip based on the role they wish to fill and the scenario they're heading into. There will be also greater differences between the current armor types. So light, medium, and heavy, and this will be in protection and mobility. New armor categories will be combat, specialist, utility, and support.
So that kind of lines up with what we were just hearing.
And these will define the type of items that are quickly available on the slots of the suit. There will also be additional functionality.
That's enough about armor. We got super distracted here. Lee Bob, thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know about the Titan exosuit. I think that would be rated more as a vehicle than actual armor. And you better watch out, Punchy. Aren't we in your pocket? Oh no, you're not at work, huh? He can actually see what's being said in chat. Shifty, good to see you. How you doing? All right. So that's characters. Let's get on to ships, the good part. In ships, they also are a little bit light this year, or this month. In October, the Crusader A1 and C1 Spirit both reached the end of final art, while an all-new ship reached final art with its final reviews approaching soon. So, C1 and A1 Spirits, I have flown both of them. They are amazing. I love them. I really, really like the design and the space inside of them. I think we'll have to see spec-wise whether it lives up to its size and the kind of where it sits with all these other ships. I think there's going to be obvious reasons to take something like a Zeus over this or a Cutlass Black, but there are also good reasons to have this ship. Tractor beam's pretty solid. Yeah, I like the C1. The A1, you know, if you want to bomb stuff. I don't have much reason for that, but the C1 is it's a great daily driver. It's a good size, and you can carry 64 SCU in it. So I love it. And then you have the A1, which is more about exploding things. What do you guys even blow up? What are you bombing? Each other? Over and over? Ooh, Mrs. T still watching. Everything. Alright, fair enough. Everything is good. That is a valid target, everything. Your bombing misses tomato. That's going to get you messed up by the whole of GII. Like how the freelancer ships aren't a part of the conversation anymore. They must have finished them, right? Oh, you mean in terms of competing with the C1? Well, the freelancer, like if you're going to compete with the C1, you get a freelancer max, and that thing clobbers the C1 when it comes to what's it called? Carrying cargo. Oh, I know it's a joke. I'm just saying. You better watch out. GII Protect. Has anyone considered building a 1-to-1 scale of SC spaceships? Somebody did a 1-to-50 scale. Yeah, the capacity of the Freelancer Max is way more than the C1. So I don't think that the Max really competes with the Cutlass Black or the C1. But the regular Freelancer, I guess you could say, is a direct competitor. I don't know the exact numbers. Dead Ringer, what's up? How you doing, Scott? All right. Onward with ships. Some more ships. White box work for the RSI Polaris increased as more artists were freed up from other projects. Last month, the team focused on the habitation areas at the front of the ship, working their way back to ensure that everything is set up and ready for design to make a pass. The exterior white box is nearly finished, with elements like turrets in progress. So this is kind of crazy. They have the Polaris in the white box stage, and they have the Zeus in the white box stage, and they want both of those ships to come out around the end of next year. Like this time next year. That means that they are going to be working on that Polaris. We're going to be getting a lot of updates on the Polaris over the next year. And we'll have plenty of footage to put together a deep dive at the end of all of that. But to start it off, how about we take a look at what they've got on the Polaris? Because they did show us their white box, their current white box progress. And it's a fun video to watch. I've seen it multiple times and I'll still watch it because it's pretty hype. I don't want a Polaris. I don't care about them. But if I did, I would need new pants after this one.
And it's white.
It's in white. I mean, at least from what they said just now in the monthly report, it's finishing up white box. This thing is massive. Ba-boom, 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 ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-boom. I like it. I like it. I don't really care for combat, but man, big ships blowing up is so much fun. All right. So what did they even? What did? Let me go back real quick and hear what he said.
Torsten's already stolen the predictable joke here, so we'll do one last thing to show you guys. So let's have a look at the current state of the Polaris in engine in its white box state.
Yeah, so it's in white box, confirmed at CitizenCon and here in the monthly report that we were reading. Let me give you guys a quick look, because somebody did ask, simplified concept, white box, gray box, final. That's kind of it, but it's very complicated. I actually don't have an updated display of the pipeline, but I can show you a early version of the ship pipeline. We can extrapolate from there to kind of understand how these ships are built. I have some really interesting pictures in this folder. Check this one out. This one's from, I think this is from 2018 maybe? This is Star Citizen product cycle. It was basically the idea that it was like, it was getting to, I don't know, it stagnated. I think this was during the Great Drought before 3.0, and it stagnated, and so they were saying like, oh, it's headed downhill, and now we're like 6 years later. I always come across that picture. Makes me giggle. There we go. Okay, so this is the 2017 version of the ship pipeline. It has grown and transformed a lot since then. Well, maybe they'll show us, maybe they'll give us an idea, but I bet this is also kind of a valuable process to keep under wraps now, you know? Like this stuff, that other companies can start to use this to build similar games, right? So anyways, you can see that there's a lot of processes and a lot of people that are involved in each checkoff. Possibly too much, I don't know, I can't say. But there's a ton of reviews, there's concept phase, multiple passes on the concept phase, and you go to white box, you got to do all the white box teams, go and get it approved and reviewed, then you send it to gray box. After it gets to gray box, you start to model more specific things, chamfers, you know, your fillets, all those things. You get things really nice and modeled, and then it looks like there is a second part of white box for the larger ships. Again, this is probably largely expanded past what we're looking at right here, because this is 6 years old. And then you get to final art, going through the weekly meetings, going through all the passes, final art approval, and then it moves on to flight prep with all the LODs, damage states. Now we would see things like emergency lighting and sound effects and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot. This is a ton. It doesn't mean, no way. Dude, knowledge is really key. Like, protecting knowledge is a big part of all industries. Just the idea of a process can be valuable. There are videos on YouTube with millions of views that literally are just people laying out the process of how people make their videos. That stuff's valuable. You don't need an engine to gain a lot of value from seeing how to build a spaceship in a game. A lot of people are trying to do it and don't know how. Some people might say Starfield could have benefited from that. I bet Star Atlas has benefited from it. I would not doubt at all that Star Atlas has looked at CIG for some inspiration on how to build their ships and then went and poached some of their artists. Yeah, LODs are level of detail. That's it allows something to look good at certain distances while optimizing the amount of detail that's added to it to reach that level of goodness. Yeah, the process of building these ships is pretty crazy. Surprised that they said something about the Polaris this quick. Gotta get the... Polaris, people love the Polaris, man. Updates on the Polaris and Merchantmen are regular. Is Star Atlas even alive? Yeah, from what I see. CIG has legit just lifted whole ships off of their games like ED. Yeah, but they didn't go in and look at how they made those ships to make them. Find any ship in Elite Dangerous that has a modeled interior like Star Citizen. That on its own proves that Elite Dangerous wasn't following a process like this because they didn't have to do all this. Again, bolstering the idea that the knowledge that they have in building their spaceships puts them a step ahead of other companies like FDev. And protecting that knowledge could be something that they place monetary value on. Do you think, though, that you can have a great concept? It doesn't mean much if you can't actually implement it. See, that I'll agree with. That I will definitely get behind. You can build a cool ship, but if it's not useful, then it might get the name Drake. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I'm just teasing you guys. I like Drake. The team also worked on changes to the Aegis Reclaimer to support structural salvage, including altering the claw and interior salvage stations. I'm surprised to see that structural salvage is coming in this year. I thought it was going to come earlier this year, and then we reached summertime when we saw that it was in prototyping phase, and I was like, okay, that's not happening this year. And then now it seems like it is. It was added to the roadmap recently, if you didn't see that. Pretty sick. Pretty neat. It's in here as salvage structural, implementing the ability to transform large chunks of metal salvaged from ships into refinable material. This will include the Vulture and Reclaimer. So this is like, you're not scraping off the outside of a ship anymore. You're literally going to take these ships and crush them into boxes of metal and sell it off. Man. That's what I thought I might do as a kid when I grew up. Then I realized I don't live in the future, but now I can play in the future, and I'm totally doing that. Allows players to pack smaller boxes in bigger boxes. This is also very cool. I'm so glad that this is something that they're specifically focusing on implementing, because it was going to be weird to try and make multiple delivery stops, you know, and like if you wanted to have a 32 SU box, but it was only half full with like grain, but it was taking up all that space, this will make that better. Still don't like Star Atlas compared to SC. It's not even close, but it's good to support innovation. That's not close. It's very far away. You want to make a complaint 3 days in a row. You've redeemed the hydrate and posture check for your Twitch points. Nothing happened. You want your points back. I am sorry. I'm sorry. I missed that. You know what? I'm going to hydrate for you. And I'm going to fix my posture. Although that might send me out of my camera spot. I've gotten bad at checking that because of the A1 Spirit giveaway redeem. I miss when they actually matter. And I also keep having my music open over my notifications. I'm going to keep better eye on that. Thanks for the hydration reminder. Everybody else do it too. Get your water in. Get your water. So yeah, structural salvage is coming into the game, which is really cool. Reclaimer and Vulture are going to be even more useful. A new variant mentioned in last month's report continued through Greybox, with all vehicle components being added. Once these geometry changes have been completed, it will receive a damage pass. First, I thought they were talking about the G12 here. Yeah, go on ahead with your whiskey. Have at it. Yeah. Now I'm thinking whatever that is that they're talking about is probably this guy. A new Ursa variant, right? That makes a lot more sense. Ursa variant would be easy for them to make. If they're going to tell us that it's coming in the next 12 months, it's probably coming pretty soon. So a new variant with vehicle components and geometry changes. I think there's a pretty good chance it's that Ursa. Yeah, they were thinking Ursa Medical over on Inforunners. What's the giant looking Fury ship? I don't know. Is Munching the last needed update for salvage? No, there's going to be more. So salvage is going to be a combination of hull scraping, component retrieval, which, like, that's a big part. We still can't retrieve components on most ships. Once we can, that's going to change salvage a ton, you know? You're not, like, you're going to be going into the ships and ripping things out. So hull scraping, salvage retrieval, structural salvage, and fuel, air, and water siphoning. We still don't have siphoning, so that would be the big addition that we still need. The components still can't be all interacted with, but also we don't have salvage charges. We've had it confirmed that salvage charges at least were in the design before as a way to open up and remove areas, but maybe they've scrapped that idea. We'll have to We'll see. Medical Ursa means you're dumping someone out while it's driving. I'm thinking a medical Ursa would be something that goes in line with our... actually, a lot of the developments that they've done in the last couple of years go in line with our... these guys. These distribution centers. This explains a lot of the stuff that comes off as more localized ground gameplay that we've been seeing, like AI and vehicles and stuff. Mrs. Tomato, the brown goddess, come here. That's not racist. She just looks lovely and brown.
I'm such a ground racist.
Hello.
Hello, I don't think anybody can see me.
No.
Hello, don't be
Say hi to
running
Mrs.
out.
T.
Hello.
Going off to party and have fun while we sit here and nerd stuff.
Party, for real, don't wild out in chat. I'm still gonna be watching.
Still modding. See you later. So yeah, I think these locations are like, I mean, Ursa medical variants now make sense, right? If you're going to be doing rescue missions in the nearby areas, instead of just having to go and locate that person at the bottom of the cave, maybe you now have to go pick them up, get them to your medical Ursa, heal them, and bring them back here. Maybe instead of needing to attack an outpost out in the middle of nowhere, you have to stop a ground convoy that's coming to one of these locations from nearby. It just seems like a lot of the stuff they've been doing has been pointing towards a really big focus on ground gameplay, and I thought that was going to be the colonialism outposts. But now, I think it might have been gearing up for this thing. I mean, they got raids. We've got raids. Raids. I guess that was always going to be a thing in an MMO. Which is weird to me. Was Miss T at CitizenCon? Absolutely. We were sitting front row. You want a medical redeemer? What do you shoot syringes out of the turrets? How does that work? Oh, by the way, these locations are already in the files. There have been data mined. Lord Skippy has confirmed they're not actually in the locations, but the data is there. So they could be coming sooner than I thought. They could be actually lining up with the UGFs. That's something I haven't checked. Let's check that real quick. UGFs are in production, finishing up. They've been going for 142 weeks. They've been working on these UGFs. We saw the beginning of that. Finishing up in December, at least scheduled. Let's see if they have anything for distribution centers. No. So that might still be just on the UGF progress tracker. I don't know. Raids make it sound like Tarkov raids. I think they're more like, I don't know, Destiny raids? No? I don't know what Destiny raids exactly are. Basically just large missions, right? Long-term missions. How to protect rescued people. Maybe if you kill a rescue ship, you lose a lot of reputation. Yeah. Paul thinks that UGS have been rebranded to these distro facilities. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the conclusion that we came to. These are just these are the top side of the UGFs. Last year we saw the bottom side. They grew a little bit on the top. They added some more facilities. They've doubled down on the administration section. But overall, yeah, these are the UGFs from last year. Made better. Turn the lower turret into a searchlight scanner. Lower deck is the medical bay with the upper area turned into hab or normal. I mean, I could see it. It's your Apollo, right? Basically. Raids sound very literal. Yeah, you're like, you're literally, wait, hold on. They actually show it here. We saw it happen. For anybody who didn't get to see what a raid looks like on these locations. It's an actual raid. You're going in and you're stealing stuff. I'm sure there will be like legal and illegal versions, but just the scale of this how much you have to consider in terms of protection, transportation, what everybody is doing while they're off duty. What's your pilot doing while your guys are inside? Is he flying around? Are they going back to base? Are they parking in a nearby area? Do they need someone to support the ship? What if the distribution center sends forces out to your ship to stop them from being able to take you back? How many people do you have going inside? You have a medic? Do you need heavy weapons? Do you have somebody with a large backpack? Like, this is like the kind of mission that I feel Star Citizen was made for, and I'm really glad they're getting here. Yeah, I think this is the kind of thing that's going to make having an actual medic be a little bit more viable. It's like everybody can have medical equipment, but somebody should probably have extras. This looks like the kind of mission that's going to take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to complete, so you're not just going in and getting out with a couple of injuries. What if a medic was able to carry around like a little tier 3 medbed? Like, instead of a backpack, they had like a thing on their back that flipped out into a tier 3 medbed that allowed them to heal like the most mild injuries. Y'all think that would make like a combat medic an actual role? Something that other people couldn't do? Unrealistic, the ramp closing after that punishment. The cutlass not exploding would have been unrealistic. A defibrillator? Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking like a stretcher. Small little one that like pops open. The flak ammo. Gosh, and they actually have flak ammo too. They're working on it. It's like, you think of something, look it up. Hey, what do you know? They've got development resources put towards it. How do we even get to these things? Like, we were talking about, oh, the Ursa and ground vehicles. Where did we go wrong? Let's get back to it. A new variant mentioned in last month's report continued through Greybox with all... Well, that's the one we already went on. Finally, on the run-up to CitizenCon, the team completed a pass on the Crusader A2 Hercules to add relays for the resource network demo, as well as creating the relay asset itself. I haven't rewatched this demo, and I was actually in an interview for part of it, so I haven't seen the engineering demo fully myself. And I'm so excited to watch it with you guys. I'm thinking we'll do it sometime next week. Because this is gameplay I've been anticipating, I've been covering, I've been waiting for years. And it makes a huge difference. It's interesting that they went with the A2 for this, though. So over the last year or two, they have been experimenting with this engineering gameplay. They've been using the Hammerhead, the Hull A, and the Crusader Ares. So for them to go and then use the A2 out of nowhere kind of makes me think that they used this demonstration as a chance to update the A2. And it's possible that they're starting to work through ships and get these relays in place, and they've already got those other ships that I mentioned figured out. I'm thinking they will also probably have any ship they've made over the last year and a half ready for relays to be put in. So, you know, don't base all of your judgments on it. I'm crossing my fingers with this, but I am hopeful that behind the scenes they are already updating ships for engineering, and it's not going to be a ton of lag starting to see that happening over the next year. But again, that's speculation. This is it's hopeful speculation. It's hopium, but we'll see what happens. From what I've seen, we still don't know a ton of stuff about like glitches and how often this kind of stuff would be happening, but it does sound like the gameplay is good, and there's a ton of possibility with this. I really want to be able to use this HUD. I keep seeing the HUD here. I keep seeing the new HUD, and I'm like, oh, I want it so bad. I've seen complaints about the beams. And I think I talked about this on the podcast. I agree with the other guys that the beams will probably be replaced by other animations that work better later. They're doing beams right now because it's easy and it works. But I also think that like the beams are first version for everything. Mining, salvaging, healing, all those things start with beams because beams allow any player to take part in it, and it doesn't require you to specialize. But like for the deeper gameplay, I feel like then you get past the beams, you get more to dedicated animations, you get more to the in-depth stuff like the mining gadgets or the replacement of subcomponents. That would be like when now. Mining has already started to see those changes. I think that bounty hunting is also starting to see those changes with things like restraints and the drop pods. Engineering, this is the first version of it. I don't think we're going to see those changes just yet. But I also think that part of the challenge of this gameplay isn't just the beams, it's the context around the beams. Like, the gameplay for engineering isn't just shooting the beam at the component, it's knowing which component to shoot the beam at. It's knowing when to go to the component. It's knowing where the components are on the ship, which component would run best, how to tune it. All this stuff, I think, factors into gameplay. Same with something like healing. You're not necessarily just shooting a beam at somebody. You're deciding on which drugs to use, deciding on which injury they might have, when best to apply it, all that kind of stuff. That being said, that's a good question. When is always a great question, because it's always there. Cheers to when. Will you use beams to replace fuses? No, I think those are physical. I think you literally take those out. Everything still beams though. Yeah. Dude, we can't even send items to each other. My dog. The game systems, we fall through spaceships, y'all. The game, we're so far away. I mean, this is all good stuff. It's good to see, but like, they're very, very clearly proving that they're doing the things they're talking about, right? We just watched a whole CitizenCon where all this stuff they used to talk about that they dropped, they are now showing that they're working on it. So I don't think that they're just not gonna do any of. I mean, we can go into. I don't think that they're not going to dive into this kind of stuff. For instance, for repair, this is more about understanding materials, material makeup, actually grafting into these, building on the components back into it. Hey, look, a beam. Like there's gonna be more to this stuff. Beams are completely okay, but waiting on 3+ years to get beams is the problem. Also, good day to you. Good day to you, Grumpy Eye. How you doing? Good to see you, man. I get that. It's okay to be frustrated that that's all we have after 3 years. I think it's very cool. I would prefer custom animations, and I'm excited to see that come at some point in the future. But like I said, when I think of engineering, I don't even think about the specific things I'm doing. I think more about everything surrounding it. But we'll see. I would hope that they'd add more stuff. If you do want to go and look more into this on your own, because they do talk about what engineering is outside of just lasers, I would come in here and look at... first, I would look at this episode of Inside Star Citizen. I can drop it in chat here. And then I would look at the Star Citizen Live they did on it, which is also really good. They talk a lot about kind of the plans for it overall, past what they're doing right now. 11 years and still beams, 11 more for animations. Yeah, man. See you in 11 years. Are we ever getting drone repair? Yeah, we are. That's what the Vulcan's for. Every time we wait for basic stuff to come into the PU, it comes in still needing very obvious quality of life fixes after being overhauled over a period of months. Yeah, that's why they kind of stopped developing for the PU, because when they do that, the stuff gets really iterative, they don't actually build it for quality, and it takes forever. That's why they went away and did all this stuff with Squadron, and now they want to bring it into Star Citizen to try and avoid that. Feels like we're so far from having just basic stuff that is expected in games these days. Yeah, that's because the game's just still nowhere near being done. We're not going to have a lot of basic stuff that's expected in games in Star Citizen for years to come. I think it'll reach a decent level next year, but in terms of people, if people are expecting a good functioning game from Star Citizen, I would say come back later. Not ready for it. You'll be in the believe it when you see it camp. That's solid, man. Stick to it. Honestly, I think that's why a lot of people were happy with this CitizenCon, because it felt more like they saw it than were told it. So yeah, go believe it when you see it. Are they still planning on having holographic controls in our hangars? Probably, yeah. But we don't know for sure. Love the project, just don't understand what you... Hey man, you don't have to defend the love for the project. Feel free to criticize. Don't understand what UI and some of the other devs are thinking with some of their newest implementations. What kind of UI are you talking about? Like the stuff we saw at CitizenCon or stuff they've put in the game? You start selling cars, then develop the wheels first. Solid. I'd go with the engine, but I feel you. Think exoskeletons will come up before we get magic beams. I just want a way to charge my phone from across the room. Can we develop that magic beam? For the record, they have worked on that. As you can imagine, it's a little dangerous for people. All right, let's get back to this. We were on art forever. Let's get to features. We're passing through community. We did CitizenCon and stuff. Let's do economy, yeah? All right, so in October, the economy team continued balancing the probability of commodities for Pyro and Stanton. Love having an economy team. Cool. I wonder if that'll be in 321.1. They also began reviewing and balancing the AUEC prices of vehicles, identifying various criteria to help inform how they should be priced to better reflect their current potential. Current potential. This is like the first time we've ever heard about them talk about balancing the economy in terms of buy and sell prices for vehicles, I think, right? I don't think they've ever really talked straightforward about that, but they're basing the prices on current potential. So I wonder what my Terrapin is going to be priced at then. It also says potential. So I don't know what they mean by that, but it does mean that they're trying to set up ships and vehicles relative to each other so we can start to get an idea of where everything will sit long term in terms of pricing. Nope, actually we can't, because this is current potential, so this doesn't really matter. Has a new player experience gotten any love since they added to the tutorial? It's going to get added to New Babbage in the next patch. Hopefully it has an update or two with that. You pledged last week after you saw the base building. Were you wrong? Well, it depends on why you pledged. If you pledged for base building, it might be a little while. You think CIG wants to release Squadron 42 after the PU looks like a real game? Mike says prices are based on materials. They're supposed to be. But it sounds like they're updating prices based on current potential. When you posted that you were going on the $80 million run, it made you not want to spend money to back anymore. Part of why you bought ships was because you wanted to have a bigger vessel to command. Huh? When I posted I was going on an $80 million run, it made you not want to spend money to back anymore? I don't understand. If you basically buy any ship in the game with 1 day of work when the economy is broken. I didn't buy any... What? I don't know what you're saying, man. The PU being in a very serviceable state would be nice to have for the squadron launch. I do think it'll be in a good state, but I don't think it's going to be in the casual, like, every game kind of state by then. Any UI related to HUDs, pretty terrible visibility, which is more or less unreadable when the backdrop is bright. UI and bright environments have been in game for years. Don't understand how the devs don't prioritize addressing this when they are working on UI fixes. I mean, they've made comments about that they are addressing it, and I think they talked about it a little bit at CitizenCon. But they know that it's wrong. It's not like they're doing bad UI on purpose. Yeah, the 80 million SCU cargo haul. I don't know why that's being why that's bad. Recently posted you were going on an 80 million run, didn't you? Yeah, so our org got together 80 million UEC worth of cargo over the course of 12 hours, and then we went to spread it out. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure why that would encourage people to stop backing. We didn't break the economy. We worked for that. We worked for the cargo. Don't think development is faster. They've been developing for years. Now they can start implementing all the tech. Let's see what else they did in the economy team, huh? Similarly, they started balancing the prices of armor using an algorithmic approach based on information based from live game data. Okay, so they're balancing armor prices based on live game data. They're balancing ship prices based on ship potential. Vehicle and armor price balancing feeds into the team's goal to holistically balance effort versus reward across the game and provide other teams with guidelines on how to price items in the future. That's cool. It's very nice to hear that they are getting the economy into a serviceable state. Again, leading more towards kind of the people who are looking for a game that works more like a normal game. Economy also supported other teams on gameplay features, including the vehicle tractor beam, salvage contracts, and the profitability of loot found in vehicle wrecks. Additional support was provided for various events, including CitizenCon, the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, the F8C Hunt, and Day of the Vara. So they're stepping in and they're starting to make sure that things work correctly, which is nice. That'll be important, especially as they mentioned here, when we have another system to bounce supplies between. You had a bunch of people too, so splitting that evenly across the group would mean only a few million each. He's saying you are buying ships in game with a broken economy, so why waste real currency with a broken in-game economy? Oh, I mean, yeah. Buy ships in game. that's a yeah. I would say do that. Buy ships in game. Don't buy them with real money. It's much easier. After I showed how easy it is to make money, yeah. We didn't make the money easily. No. Johnny, you're not getting what I'm saying, man. We didn't make 80 million in 12 hours. We bought everything in 12 hours. The 80 million was already money that people had made over time. Nothing was earned in that time. The whole mission was players group money. Players use group money to buy cargo. Cargo goes on ship. Players move cargo from ship to other ships. Players sell from other ships. There wasn't any sort of purchasing and earning of money. On to the engine section. The majority of the engine team's work last month involved preparing for CitizenCon. I believe that. There was so much engine. God, I loved that. I love that they opened the whole thing with the engine. And it was kind of like this, here's what we've been working on. Now we get to the game stuff. That was great. All teams were hands on deck to deliver features and support other teams on work related to what we showed at CitizenCon. This is always an interesting time, as it is very stressful, but also rewarding when everything comes together due to the focused effort. This was the first year that it felt like that. Really got me going, you know? they did a good job this year. Normally things have some struggles. Oh man. What was the there was a CitizenCon that started like 40 minutes late, an hour late because of technical difficulties. Like it was always something technical or like kind of just a guffaw of an announcement. This year it feels like they got it, you know? And that was good. How to get access to Pyro? You have to go to the what's it called? Preview channel. There's a different version of the game called in fact, I think I can show you. So you've got the live version, the PTU, the ePTU, and the tech preview. Oh, the tech preview is the one you want for Pyro. Check your email to see if you got that. Even the wall of text of the Kickstarter got me going back in the day. How can you compare ships from two different manufacturers with the ship matrix? Oh man, I don't even use the ship matrix, to be honest. There are a lot of good fleet viewers that I think might help you out more there. Or check out Urkel. Urkel's really good. What is it? Urkel.gg? No? Man, I don't even know what the actual Urkel.games. This is very good for comparing stuff. DPS, ships, all sorts of jazz. Yeah, I like this. This is a cool website. Great person. Support him if you can. Been lurking for years. The CitizenCon sold you. You just don't know when we'll get the things they showed. Hey man, what did I say at the beginning? When is a great question. Because it's always relevant. I think we're getting this stuff faster than I thought we were going to. I did not expect to see... Okay, I am expecting to see something more from the cargo refactor here. Like freight elevators, 322. Yeah, we should see that. But I think we're going to be getting... Let's see, the dusters. I think we're going to be getting the HUD and FPS changes first quarter of next year. Not the scanning. I think FPS scanning is going to take some time. But at the very least, I think that HUD updates we could see. I'm backpedaling. I'm already backpedaling. We could maybe possibly see them first quarter of next year. But yeah, I think a lot of the stuff we did see is still going to be pretty laggy getting into the game. Citizen Kilroy, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. 21 months, mate. Yeah, that's a lot of development. You're not sick of it yet? Yeah, the tech preview is not running 24 hours, by the way, folks. Okay, back onto engine. The core engine team primarily worked on bug fixes for the live release, including some long-standing memory leaks on the live server. Give me them memory leak fixes. Yes. Yeah. The physics team focused on delivering improvements to the Maelstrom destruction system and cloth and hair tech. Oh. We have something great for that. Where am I? Cloth and hair tech. Oh, the hair tech. The hair tech's dope. I actually... the most impressive hair demonstration that we saw wasn't even the hair tech demo, in my opinion. It was this.
I think their solar mass calculation.
The difference between Trejo before and Trejo after. I mean, I keep thinking, man, this really isn't coming up much in conversation. But then I look at the replay here on YouTube, and you can see this is the most replayed part of the whole video. All of the Squadron 42 video, including the bagpipes. And this is the most replayed spot because this hair transformation is nuts.
The Galactopedia.
Yeah, probably, but I think their solar mass calculations are wrong though.
Like, what the heck, dude? What did they even do? It looks like an entirely different person. That's crazy. that's why, like, it looks like they made her out of wax, and then they were just like, wait a second, hold on, did we? Are you sure we made this right? So that's pretty nuts. But also, man, I really need to switch to my other account. The hair demo here is pretty good. This stuff is pretty impressive.
This was a very touching moment for me when I made this video. Thank you. Thank you.
Also a bit creepy. Just stroking the hair. Like, could they at least have just made it not have a face? And then they go over... Oh, that's the other panel that they go over that. Here's the damage system. Give you guys a look. They show it off a couple of times. This is the Maelstrom damage system. This is what a Gladius looks like when you're going to break it apart. Just to give you an idea of how insane this new damage system is.
One more video of Maelstrom before we continue.
So it's a full destructibility system. I mean, it's Battlefield Bad Company 2 status. It's kind of nuts. It works on... This is going to be applied to ships, vehicles, armor, weapons, all kinds of things. You can see it here in a firefight.
Barrels.
Man, that's just not very good cement. Y'all need to... Like, in the future, could we not make stronger cement? Just exploding? Again, though, the most exciting part for me when it comes to the Maelstrom system was, again, what I saw in the Squadron 42 demo. I loved this segment of the demo. I know some people didn't really like the FPS we saw from this, but I really enjoyed this part. And you can see some of the Maelstrom here while he's fighting.
But at the cost of ramping up your own emissions. We've also seen the introduction of our Maelstrom-powered destructible environment, which adds a layer of dynamism to the experience alongside our improved AI that can now have hundreds of combinations of traits that allow us to create unique and challenging combat encounters that really push your tactical awareness and
also the music here is really cool. I love it. Joff did amazing with this music. Like, can't wait. Coolest subjective. That's why I said it was cool, not you. It's cool. So yeah, that's Maelstrom and the hair. Did they go over any of the other stuff? Maelstrom, cloths. Let's check out cloth tech, man. What you got for me? What you got for me, cloth? Here's some wind demonstrations.
Really
exaggerated
assets, like
wind
the
demonstrations.
Duster and the one I want to show you now. So here you're seeing about 5 different layers of cloth going on and self-colliding between each other. It's reacting to the planet wind, which is always changing. On the front, there's a big leather apron. So this one's actually a lot heavier, and it moves a lot differently than the cloth on the back.
I appreciate that. It's not perfect. Like, it needs some work, but I appreciate that there's different weights to the material. Never really thought I needed it, but sure. Give me leather. Give me leather. And then the hair demonstration. Let me see if I can find like a good part for that. Yeah, here we go.
Reality for some of us, and another reality for another one of us. There it is.
Oh, the Halo 5 trailer.
That's what I want my reality to be here. Something like this. I'm digging the Mohawk, though, for this one. He's got a bit of a Mr. T look to him. I kind of like this. Yeah, I pity the fool. All right.
Beards! Beards!
So, it might go without saying that we've got beards now. So, if you want to select a full beard, you can select a full beard. If you want just mutton chops, you got your mutton chops. You want your handlebar, you got your handlebar. All right. So we've got all the different beard types that you could want, and we're going to add as many as you guys really want. So I'm kind of digging the full beard for this guy.
Some Arthur Morgan beard.
Yeah, I'm digging the full beard for this guy.
And yes, I know Arthur
Even
Morgan
further
wasn't
to
the
that,
first person
we've
to
got
have a full beard.
Eyebrow selection, which is, I mean, you could go with no eyebrows. That's a very real. You could have bushy ones. You can have a little bit more, you know, normal, kind of straightforward ones. But it was mentioned before during the hair and with Forrest's discussion that we've got the hair dye as well. So with the hair dye, you can affect all the hair at once. And
This
right
is
now,
dope.
I've got.
All right, so this is kind of funny because we were thinking about bleaching my hair this year. Now I'm just going to do it in here and see how it looks first. Because, oh, God. It's kind of a big step.
All selected, so I can go through the gamut of all the different hairs, melanin.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll add hair growth.
So here,
Dang,
I'm
this
just
it
gonna
looks
darken
good
it
though.
up a little bit. And
I
if
feel like
want to
character
decide
creators
facial
always
hair,
look better than the
we can decide
game,
the facial hair
so I
itself.
I can't wait to see how these actually translate into the game. I know that they use these to make the NPCs, but I want to see how like my creation looks in the actual
jet
game.
black on this particular one. So I'm gonna frost these tips a little bit. I think that's gonna look kind of cool. Let's
Frosting
set
the
a bit of a
tips.
blonde here. Turn up the dye amount. And then what's really cool about this, and I'll show this in a minute, is that we can actually control the fall off of it. So again, if I just want this on the tips, I can just blend it right about here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's hair. We saw cloth and the damage system. That's kind of, those are 3 of the big things they did for their engine updates at CitizenCon. But there's a whole panel, guys. I mean, we just watched some of it. If you haven't seen that yet, I would go check it out. What they have been building is impressive. Now they need to apply it to something fun, but what they have to show for it is pretty robust. The selection feature in the character customizer, yeah, like the people, all the people at the all the like little heads on the side, where we're also getting a feature changes. Yeah, that was a yeah. Q4 release, not for the character creator, just for the hairs. The hairs. Some of the hairs, too. Not all of them. Let me see if they show the hair. Where is it? Here we go. These are the hairs we're getting at the end of the year. And these all can be equipped by all characters, and it's going to be a set of, I think, 24 in Q4 of 2023. And then these other styles of hairs for curlier styles, which still need some work even after this point. These will be in a later update as they're still working on the tech to be able to render this stuff. So they've still got work to do, but we're going to get some of this stuff next month, probably. I can say next month because that's December. Oh, is it 20? I thought it was 24. If you want tons of hair and style, you know a game. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 does great at it, right? Yeah, no, they still got work to do on the hair for sure. All right. Physics team did that stuff. Lastly, the entity system tech team supported the online team to deliver server meshing demo while continuing to work on editor entity streaming. If you haven't seen the server meshing demo, I would suggest that one as well. Really good. Really cool. All right, features. Oh, let's get crunchy. This is the good stuff. October saw the Arena Commander feature team finishing support for Alpha 3.21. They also supported several things shown at CitizenCon and continue to polish various features. Thanks, guys. The engineering team primarily focused on the development of multi-crew gameplay and spawn locations, adding features such as locking and unlocking vehicles for spawning and seat selection within vehicles. This is a huge back-end addition to Arena Commander. Honestly, the Arena Commander changes are good. They're in the game, they're working. It's still kind of rough, but it's working, and it's made the gameplay a lot better. Multi-crew support, though. That's when I'm going to really start using it. Multi-crew support means you can get in there and start running like hammerhead fighting scenarios. the stuff that we try to set up in the PU that nobody wants to do because it takes 30 minutes to set up and 2 minutes to ruin, you can now do it in the Arena Commander when we get multi-crew support. And then they're going to add engineering gameplay too. So you're going to be able to run a full capital ship battle scenario in Arena Commander before you can do it in the PU. I love what they're doing with Arena Commander. This is cool. Another primary focus was on custom matches. The team connected the remaining service code to the game code and began adding the final hooks into the UI. Utilizing the new custom lobby UI created by design. I read that terribly, but I'm not going to go back and fix it. I'm sorry. They also created a new game mode featuring master modes and added various quality of life improvements and bug fixes for Alpha 3.22, including a rework of the friendly fire system. Can I propose something? I'm just thinking, custom matches. What if, this is a huge what if, all right? Don't make fun of me. This is a huge if. What if CIG was able to like capture the original magic of Halo 2 custom matches in space game form? Like, what if they had a custom match directory and were able to foster the kind of creativity that Halo 2 and Halo 3 had in their custom matches, and we got to just do weird closed server shenanigans in spaceships. Imagine. Everybody with me, in all caps, imagine with me. Imagine. That would be so sick though. Like if they doubled down on custom games, you could literally set up a custom match that ran like Among Us, right? With engineering gameplay, you could set up the custom rules, the spawn rules, animations, like, and all the kind of stuff, depending on how far they let us get into it. You could just set up an Among Us server and like, and do stuff like you could set up a, I don't know, a spaceship that replicates the first mission on Halo Combat Evolved, Pillar of Autumn. They just dropped a javelin in there instead of the pillar, and you have to fight through it against a bunch of aliens. I don't know. I'm just thinking like the possibilities for if they did say, we're going to let you do private servers, we're going to let you do modding, and we're going to limit it to Arena Commander servers with a custom match directory. There's so much freaking potential. like what's it called? Theaters of War? I mean, hey, instead of making Theaters of War CIG, why don't you just give us the tool set? Give us the tool set, give us the Arena Commander servers. We'll figure it out for you. Right? That'd be so cool. Great way for them to still allow people to have private servers too. Some big imagining. I need you to put your Imagine hats on. We should get, I should get it should I just take this and call this my Imagine hat and put it on whenever I get a little bit too crazy? I'm sorry, guys. You can't hang out with me, man. You just get hit with all the hopium. Let's see, where were we? Alright, so the team also enabled the award service in the PU, which was most recently used for the Anvil F8C Hunt and the 999th Test Squadron. Test Squadron badge reward. Finally, for engineering, work was completed on the Solar Flare Hazard, which was featured in the Pyro playground at CitizenCon. You guys like that Solar Flare Hazard? You into it? Imagine hats. Is there any example of CryEngine being on-the-fly moddable? I don't know. Vulkan for 322 or nah? You know, I think it's possible. I think, yeah, Vulkan in 322 could be possible, but let's see. Well, I guess we'll get to that down here. Random performance and before a public beta test can be considered. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's more likely a Q1 next year kind of thing. Cause they really like Vulkan can't. I don't think that can mess up. That's gonna be big. It'll be a blessing to optimization for us, I think. and it means global illumination is around the corner. But I don't know. Didn't know I was streaming today. Pleasant surprise. Oh, come on now. You know me. I'm here on Saturdays. I got you covered. But welcome. Glad to see you got in here. Vulkan is already in the game. You tweak your Vulkan settings. You can't do that in games without Vulkan. They must mean Vulkan optimized Vulkan. Interesting. I mean, I would figure they would have said if Vulkan was in the game. But I was talking to Sylvan at CitizenCon, and he said no, I believe. And he's like, building it. I think when they say beta, they mean beta for the Vulkan, like a beta test for Vulkan renderer, not the game. Where were we? Man, I keep getting lost. Oh, that's because I jumped ahead. We're on features on the gameplay section, I believe. No, we're still on Arena Commander. Look at that. Another pass over all of Star Citizen's vehicles was done, which involved hooking up seats and tags with the information needed to enable multi-crew gameplay. For example, they updated scoring to account for multi-crew and better defined ship classes to include some that weren't previously featured due to requiring a crew to work as intended. A successful go, no-go was also achieved for various game modes and locations coming in Alpha 3.22. So, clearly, we don't have everything on the release view. They've only dropped one thing on the release view so far, but we definitely have some stuff that's trying to get in for Arena Commander, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Yeah, Gen 12's definitely in the game. Oh, I believe you're not lying. I'm not accusing you of lying. What's the improvement with Vulkan in SC context? It helps to... Man, I'm not the one to describe that, to tell you the truth. It helps with optimization. I'll tell you that much. It's a rendering API, and it makes... I think it allows the team to utilize the GPU a lot more, is essentially the main goal. I know that's the goal of Gen 12 on its own. Vulkan, I believe, makes that a much easier and more robust process, though. Okay, cool. You looking for a fight sketch? Do I know if we're getting the ability to change our in-game names? You can. You can change your in-game name. I think the first one is free, and then there's some cost associated with it. Loads up GPU, frees up CPU. I think, yeah, that's kind of the idea I was getting from it. More direct control over the GPU. It's surprising, as somebody who has no idea how all that stuff works. It's surprising how much of games depend on the CPU, you know? With all of the focus on GPUs and talks about computers and requirements and stuff, I always figured that the GPU was well understood and was the main way that people were loading in games. But it's actually the CPU. It's interesting. $5. Okay. All right. So gameplay. Last month, the feature team made significant progress on engineering gameplay, including the UI. Yay! They also progressed with structural salvage and are currently in the final phase of their vehicle tractor beam work. That's like, for a 2-sentence report for the gameplay team, this is a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Engineering, structural salvage, and vehicle tractor beams are like all kind of big career-wise. We have too much CPU load. Tell me about it, dude. I'm sorry, computers. I apologize. You can switch over to Vulkan swap chain in your NVIDIA control panel right now. That's cool. Draw calls is draw calls. Yeah, but our draw calls draw calls. No, I get that the CPU is the core of the PC. That's a central processing unit is kind of a giveaway there. I just feel like because we've had GPUs for so long, I thought the understanding of them and the ability to optimize them was more mature. And we had already passed all of our rendering stuff over to them by default. Will computer requirements increase after the Pyro update? I doubt it. That's the kind of thing that Vulcan should be helping with. And their Gen 12 renderer overall is kind of trying to keep that in check. Features on the mission side. Mission features. Our boy Elliot Kwaku. My man, I'm so sad he didn't get to go to CitizenCon. I wanted to meet him, but this is his neck of the woods, and I'm super excited for this stuff. Mission features work on data heist intensified. It intensified. The mission making it past its third gate review and entering the QA/TR stage. QA are currently testing the mission alongside a dedicated designer who is fixing bugs as they're found. The mission received its narrative pass too, so all the text is now complete, while various UI screens were brought up to the desired quality. An interesting addition has been new dialogue SFX, which the servers play to give players important feedback of their current cooling states. We talked about this on the Citizen Central podcast this week. It's a great one. Go check it out if you haven't. Had on Hybrid V Audio, Salty Mike, Ferrister, and Red Monster. And we talked about this mission. We talked about the fact that this is bringing in hacking without actually bringing in hacking. And it makes sense that this is coming in as a module and hacking can be added, just plugged into this whenever they have it working. But it is, I just find it strange that it is coming in now when hacking is such like a questionable thing for next year. Like you'd think they would hold off on it, but I'm guessing this is something that they wanted to have in. They got to a certain state and they just continued working on it maybe and said, you know what? This is at a good place. It's going to be a good mission. We've got everything ready for this. So let's do it and we'll plug in hacking later. So that's cool. I'm excited to see how they can use this module in other places though. Data heist intensifies. It's intensifying, guys. Work continued on the Blockade Runner global event. This is the replacement for Ninetales Lockdown. You know that that global event that nobody really played all that much. Some people played and got confused, and some people played and got abused. But now they're changing it up a little bit for a Blockade Global Runner event with a focus given to deciding which commodity is to be transported. This event basically is like the same idea. It's not Ninetales Blockade. It's any gang. And instead of complicating things, they literally are just like, hey, this space station doesn't have these supplies or can't get these supplies out. Can you please get them out? And you're going to have to fight your way in. You can't quantum travel in. You have to run the blockade. Improvements were made to the scenarios that occur when players are interdicted during the event, and important work on the event backend means it can now be scheduled better. So hopefully this will make that event a better option, and we'll have 4 solid events offering different experiences over the next year. Hacking is an issue because of anti-cheat. Hacking Beams 2025 nonsense. We get them this year. Data Heist? Did it just drop in the EPTU? Maybe we'll go try that out. They need to spam the announcement, not wait for people to stumble on it in the mission tab. True. Let's see. Mission features worked alongside economy to more accurately balance the cargo manifest seen in salvage, bounty, and assassination missions to ensure they don't break the economy. This is what Johnny was talking about earlier. A great way to make money is to do bounties and then go in and steal all their cargo, generally drugs, and sell it for millions in profit. So, they are worried about like making these mistakes. You don't have to worry about people getting a lot of, like, you can worry about people getting a lot of money, but don't freak out like they're not focusing on fixing that kind of stuff. The Steal and Recover Courier mission saw their first white box playthrough with the start to finish flow complete. The teams are now switching to the polish stage and building variants. Okay, cool. So these are the kind of cargo-focused courier missions. I wonder if these will replace our box delivery missions, or if they'll sit next to them. Oh, Scott, we already know what hacking is going to look like. You don't have to call it. They've already shown us a picture. Let me see if I have that saved. Nope. So this was the original concept for hacking, kind of like a Pac-Man style minigame. But I don't seem to have the actual hacking tool. Yeah, no, there's a tool that you kind of plug in. There's no laser. Sort of announcing a mission is not great to add as we get more and more people on the servers. People who know about it and want to participate will discover it and take part. I mean, I think they should tell the PTU people. Hey, see, I originally thought you were joking. You've made 150 million salvaging Herc cargo. What the hell? From one Hercules? Insert Tiger Claw, press hack button. That's what it is right now. The way that hacking is supposed to work in the future is you're going to insert blocks of code into the running compiler for whatever you're hacking. And you're supposed to pick the correct blocks to navigate through the security system and force the thing to do what it is you want it to do. The idea of hacking is you're supposed to trick a computer into thinking that you're an authorized user. And so you're inserting code lines in order to get to that process. We don't know graphically what it's going to look like, but that's how they've described it. Oh, okay. That's multiple Hercules. I get you. I was going to say, that's insane. Sounds complicated. You'll use your laser. Shoot it. Let's see. The ship trespass feature passed its go, no go and was integrated for the next release. Wonder if that's 321.1 or 322. I think it's 321.1. The team are currently investigating non-violent means to remove trespassers from ships. Hey, restraints. Mission features continue their previously unrevealed work supporting Pyro, including new bombing run and destroy vehicle missions. Ooh. Hey. Too bad this is supporting Pyro. Can you support Stanton? These use a variant of the destroy item module used in the destroy drugs mission. Ah, modules. Love it. The team also began setting up and implementing the Squadron 42 AI trait system shown at CitizenCon. So we got bomb missions. We're actually going to have bombing missions. That's nice. People with bombers will actually have things to bomb. Good for you. You can do 10 Hercs in a couple hours. Yeah, I would have to agree then. That's too much. They do need to... Or they need to make it harder to loot a Hercules. They need to have NPCs on there killing us or something, because that's too much money. You knowing what actual hacking looks like sounds fun, though. I mean, imagine how few people would do actual hacking in Star Citizen. Gross. You gotta gamify something like that. Hacking should have a minigame in a Linux console. Pops out from your own command prompt. Prompt. Thank you for the hydration reminder. Be good when the A1 can drop multiple bombs at the same time. Honestly, yeah. I'm kind of annoyed that we can't. The updated Siege of Orison global event and new Babbage's new player experience are currently going through the QATR and final polish stages. Designs for the future content also progressed. So this I've heard is good. Again, Elliot said that the Siege of Orison update is pretty solid. We will be doing that here on stream whenever that happens. I'm thinking it's 322. Maybe they'll slide it in for 321.1, but I kind of doubt it. And the new player experience means we as an org might find a new home in 322. Y'all in chat, my GII folks in chat, people from the org, tell me, what would you prefer? Do you guys want to start from R Corp or New Babbage? I want to make sure that we keep somewhere where there is a new player experience so that we can allow new players to get that. You're not forced to start at this place. It's just our home. It's where most of our missions and stuff will start from. What are you guys thinking, though, in GII? New Babbage? New Babbage, you guys are sick of R Corp, huh? I do like it. It's just really far away from other stuff. Once there's jump points, it'll be a lot more well-placed. Azon, Okay, see, we get Azon in chat calling for New Babbage. You know that means something. There it is. Are we accepting applicants? Absolutely, Scuffington. I hope to see you in there. It's right down below the video. Should pick Orison because the tutorial sucks. Tell that to the newcomers that get free money and the chance to fly a Pisces. Your heart belongs to Area 18, but you'll go where the people are, Punji. You know, I like that. I appreciate that about you. I also like Area 18 more. We're definitely going to have to figure something out with armor. But if the people do want New Babbage, we'll talk about it some more this weekend, of course, at our meeting. Can you buy ships at New Babbage? You can, but they're fancier ships. Better ads at New Babbage. You're glad I'm not going to Pyro. I'm going to go to Pyro? Why would I not go to Pyro? What? I absolutely will go to Pyro. That's like, that's the new part of the game. New Babbage does have good gear. R-Corp might still be better though. R-Corp is really good. New Babbage also has ground locations, which is big. Yeah, we've got meetings. We've got leading meetings, but we've also got org-wide meetings. You can buy ships in New Babbage at the Starport. It's across from the ASOP terminals. Is that just a rental terminal? You can, I mean, maybe you can't buy them, but you can rent them. Unless they remove that. When Pyro is in, you'll have one account in Pyro and one in Stanton. When Pyro is in. I wonder, oh man, having an account in every star system. I mean, I still want to go to Pyro. Like, I have to make content. Can't just ignore a whole new part of the game. It's just rentals, okay. They moved all the ASOPs in New Babbage, really? Yeah, org-wide meetings are not like a... it's not like a thing you have to do all the time. It's optional, and they happen maybe once a quarter. Yeah, they moved them in Area 18. All right. Let's see. Use a variant. Blah, 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 blah. Features on the vehicle side. In October, the vehicle gameplay team focused on bug fixing and quality of life improvements for Alpha 321 and CitizenCon. They also improved the handling of ground vehicles across different terrains to make them more predictable and tweaked various other ship systems to improve gameplay balance. We saw how that STV was performing. The ground vehicles still need more work, I think. A tuning pass began for various upcoming ships and vehicles too. Cool. Graphics, VFX programming, and Planet Tech. For the graphics, Planet Tech, and VFX programming teams, the majority of October was spent polishing the many features demonstrated at CitizenCon, including the water simulation, global illumination, Maelstrom, fire, and rifle scopes. And oh my gosh, every single one of those things was better than I expected. Wait, let me just go back and confirm that is true. Okay, global illumination was pretty cool. That's about what I expected. Every other thing here. Okay, fire also. I did expect that from fire. But everything else was more than I expected. We've always complained about the rifle scopes especially, and I was really, really excited to see that they had covered that. We also got like this kind of stuff. They're not even going over this kind of stuff. Oops. Check this out.
Taking us from this to this.
This isn't even what I want to show you.
But it's not
This
just
stuff.
about feeling powerful. Changes in audio can create a sense of danger, of being out on your own and under threat. Here's an example of ship combat. Sounds good, but what if we wanted a little more realism? The audio propagation tech that we've been rolling out makes it easier to change the soundscape in real time, and a nice use of that technology is to provide a more realistic option. Here, your own weapons resonate through the hull of the ship. Only what's in the pressurized cockpit is heard clearly, and the threat level feels higher due to the isolating lack of enemy weapon and ship audio. Making these changes creates space in the audio, both spectrally and temporally, making impacts seem bigger, more damaging, more of a problem for the player. This realistic mode isn't limited to the flight experience, it's applied appropriately to the game as a whole. Here's an FPS battle in a depressurized area. With realistic mode,
these changes are pretty cool, and again, these are just some of the engine things that they showed off. We also have ray tracing, which they are going to be doing with the Vulkan API is now allowing for. So here are some looks at the stuff they're doing with ray tracing and how that is improving the visuals of the game. Again, people will continue to say things like Star Citizen is outdated graphically. Star Citizen is going to get outdated when it launches. Folks, there's a reason they built this engine. It's so they could do this stuff.
Bouncing up there. And then we add a screen space occlusion pass just to tidy up the edges on things. And there is the final composite. So, what else does it do? Well, because it's real-time generation, it means we can do a real-time bounce, and we can do that with quite small areas. You can get like a really vibrant bounce that picks up off small objects in the scene. Ooh. And that means that the art team can really lean into like strong local variation on color. As again, we will see. So we'll do a side-by-side comparison on this one. As you can already see, like the spotlight's really like throwing stuff into the scene. This is just one light in the room. And we did have live updating, as you can see in the old system, but it was designed for like time of day changes rather than this continuous smooth view.
I actually missed that when he said that the first time. Y'all have seen this, right? When you're like sitting in the asteroid belt and you're looking at the asteroids and the sun sort of click, click. Like it doesn't actually smoothly move the sunlight. It updates, like he said, for the time of day. I'm hoping that means that with global illumination, we're going to get real-time sunlight across the entire star system. Right? That means that all of the shadows are going to move realistically across all of the terrain based on a single light source at the beginning. Dude, that's nuts. That's going to be crazy if that actually works like that.
And finally, it means that we can do things like glowing surfaces can just illuminate the world without having to add special lights to fake it.
Oh, God. I really need to get off of this account. Why am I watching this stuff on here? Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. Give me a second. Just bad ideas all around. Where were we? Just going to show you some more of this ray tracing real quick. They've got some really good examples here. This is a cool one.
At the moment, we capture that cockpit probe in a going to get the sometime. Oh yeah, so this is the old system. The sun's working, but you can see there's no sky, there's no ground lighting.
Doesn't require ray tracing, Scott. I just wondering if it'll make it easy to do.
And then in the new one, you can already see the skylight is kind of helping a little, but then as you turn over, you get all the ground lighting.
Obviously, it wouldn't be required to do if they could already do it in real time. But real-time ray tracing seems like it's probably a more easy plug-and-play solution than what they were doing.
That in where the ray tracing would be.
So here's another example they had.
It's overly lit, let's be honest.
This is showing actually they have hardware ray tracing, static ray tracing, or static environment probes. They also have their own software solution they're working on for people who don't have the graphics cards that can do this kind of stuff, which I think is nice.
And now this is what Star Citizen would have looked like if we released it on the PS1. The sharp-eyed among you may have noticed also the ship is missing, but you know, we can't do dynamic objects in this. You'll be surprised. It doesn't seem to mind. And there we have software GI in the middle, which is, yeah, like I say, it was using the same 25,000 probe system, but not having to use any kind of hardware ray tracing. As you can see, it's not a perfect match. It's not identical, but it's a lot more dynamic than the old system.
So yeah, there's some
Star
of the
Citizen is
stuff.
updating
Whoa, okay, let's not do that. So there is. Hold on a second, guys. I'm gonna put this over here as well, so we can easily find some videos when we need to. So yeah, there's a lot of engine stuff going on that's it's really improving the game, the looks and the way it works. Damage system, ray tracing. Oh, we didn't even look at fire. Hold on. Let's check out the fire feature real quick. I think that's what we opened with, yeah. This is going to be a big part of engineering, a big part of multi-crew gameplay, a big reason why big ships are not going to be super fun to run on your own if you're getting into combat and stuff.
So to finish, we're going to take a look at all of that put together in the game. Thank you. Thanks very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Cool. If you're, what is burning is generally, if you look around the sides of this ship, there are like a lot of cushions. But mostly it's going to be like the epoxy and the paints and the insulation and the stuff that's coating all of this. Generally, the steel's not melting. Although I guess steel can catch fire, right? If the fire gets hot enough, they were at what, 300 degrees Celsius? I don't know how hot it needs to be. They're hitting 319. I don't know how hot it needs to be for this stuff to burn, man. Going into fire department on each ship. Definitely a reclaimer. That's not a ship I would want to be without a fire extinguisher. If we get proper day and night, will we get proper planetary orbits? That would change cargo hauling immensely. Yes. So the plan is to get proper orbits for planets, which would change the routes between planets a lot. It could make for some really interesting dynamic events. I was thinking this would make for really cool things where CIG could start global events like a trade rush between two planets when their orbits get close. They could do special exploration month-long adventures as comets orbit into the system and then leave, so you can't visit it for like 9 months of the year, and for 3 maybe you can. All kinds of things they can do when they get orbits working. But they have talked about that being a thing, and they have also shown that plants will also react to this. They will have seasons, and they will change based on the orbit of the planet they're on. Yes, I know. It's fucking crazy. What's up, Nohore? I'll catch you later, man. With the Pyro planets, asteroids, and gas clouds looking so good, do you think Stanton will see one more rework pass with the planet tech, especially Crusader? I think Stanton's going to see multiple passes. I think every planet in the game will see multiple passes for a while. Don't know when, though. Steel catches fire at 1300 Fahrenheit. Jeez. 1300 Fahrenheit would be like what? 600 something Celsius? 11/5? No, times 5/11. Divided by 11/5. Be a little less than half. 600. 500 something? 700? Okay. Yeah, so gotta be a lot hotter for steel to burn. Are Pyro planets 1/6 too? Yeah, all of the planets will be 1/6 scale. Distance is 1/10, I believe. Okay, on to Interactables here. Last month, the Interactables team worked towards CitizenCon, producing assets included in the digital goodies pack. I haven't even looked at that yet. They are also supporting. They also supported the new underground facilities, pushing the boundaries to create new and interesting props, and working towards Pyro, helping to close out areas for dressing in multiple locations. No, I don't think they'll ever change the scale. Because the planetary bodies, moons, planets, all that stuff is 1/6. Distances between them are 1/10. It allows the planets to be relatively large, but also small enough so that it's not a drag to move across them. But it also, and it makes the distances smaller so that the effect of those planets being in view is a little bit more emphasized, which, you know, it might not be realistic, but people love to see that in sci-fi. There's always that, like, seeing the planet floating in the sky of the moon and stuff like that. It's cool. It's cool to see. Lighting. Alongside CitizenCon, the lighting team worked to close out multiple locations across Pyro. Thanks, we love you, lighting. Appreciate it. Live tools. They worked on new features in support of CitizenCon and server meshing demo. Tasks also began to improve the usability of tools within the Network Operations Center. This is progressing well, and new modules are currently being designed for future implementation. Thank you. Locations in the EU. Last month, the locations team progressed with Pyro's rundown stations and added improvements to New Babbage. I wonder why they ended up going with... They call them ruined stations. They call them rundown stations sometimes. Throws me off. Our underground facility is going to replace the bunkers we have now. The bunkers we have now will probably be asset updated, but I still think we will have those size underground facilities. They'll be called underground facilities. They'll work the same as the ones that we're getting, the big ones, but I think that they will be replaced by small versions of them. Still with the same ideas, though. How do I think they will address exploration gameplay if we already know the systems and lore according to the star map? Exploration is going to be mostly focused on finding resources and things that have value to other people. In fact, I've been tooting that horn for a while, and we always get some pushback. It's nice that we now have actual proper confirmation from CIG themselves that this is indeed a goal. If I can go... Here. Let's listen.
Is set a marker, and we can customize the details of that marker. Now, what you'll notice as well is as we set markers, there's metadata that is encoded into each of these markers on top of the customized name that we can specify. So we can mark as many markers as we want in this map. And these are all saved to our data bank. And we can eventually share these markers and even sell these markers on the market. So the thing about this, we can't really talk about markers without mentioning data running. So you might specialize in exploration, whereas perhaps a miner might specialize in the equipment, and they make investments in their equipment. So you, as an explorer, might be in the business of going around and exploring and finding locations that are very valuable to other professions. And the role of these markers are very important in coming up with the data and Yeah, so it's very important.
Zane runs into a little trouble here, but he said the words, right? This is exploration. Planting markers in places of value and selling them to people. That does not require us to not know things. People are still exploring the world, right? The planet. We don't know what our oceans look like. We don't know where we can get the best mineral deposits. We're finding those all the time. Turkey just found a huge oil reserve in the Black Sea, like right off their coast, and has been there this whole time. So there's definitely going to be a lot of resource exploration in this game, and that's likely going to be the majority of what people are doing. There's also going to be other types of things that I think they'll get into, but for now, I think that's what people should be setting their expectations on. And as resources can resupply themselves, they can migrate, they can move, that will require people to set up bases in different places, to hold down different places, and to relocate at times. What's the difference between a scanning ship and an exploration ship? There's different types of scanning ships. Some of the ships have scanners that are meant more for data interception, like the MSR. Some of them have scanners that are meant more for asset acquisition or discovery, like the 400i. Some of them have scanners that are meant more for long distance, like the Carrack. Some are more short, like the Terrapin or 315P. So there's no difference between a scanning ship and an exploration ship, but an exploration ship is a type of scanning ship. But all ships can scan. It's kind of like how all ships can shoot their guns, but not all ships are combat ships. Today, in airplanes or very tall hotels in some countries, use special plastics that are self-extinguishing, like PEEK or PEC. Even if you can get PEEK to burn, it'll put itself out unless you literally have a gas torch aimed at it nonstop. Well, that sounds like it would break the game. So we'll pretend that wasn't invented. Vivi Jr., thank you for the sub. 32 months. It's been a while. How have you been? How has your year been going? You'd argue an exploration ship is a scanning ship with a large fuel tank. That's fair. Scanning, data hacking, cargo hauling ship. Shameless MSR plug. Oh yeah, the Endeavor. The Endeavor. That's an endgame kind of ship, I think. Alright, continuing on locations, the Sandbox team continued to work on Pyro settlements and the new underground facilities, which I think is what they're calling these distribution centers. Alongside this, the Organics team worked on planets and some smaller features for Pyro. No, tell us what smaller features is. Don't just call it smaller features. Can't use normal plastics? I mean, I bet. I hope you're forced to use non-flammable stuff. Just moved house, and this year's CitizenCon has you hyped for 2024. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next year as well. I'm glad you're doing well. Congrats on the house move, by the way. Narrative team. October saw a flurry of activity for the Narrative team as they worked towards finalizing content for CitizenCon. While Narrative didn't have a presentation at this year's show, they supported other teams and worked hard to get content polished and ready for Pyro's showcase, which featured numerous new missions from brand new factions. Can confirm new missions and new factions do exist in Pyro. There is content that is explicitly different from Stanton. You can't do it in Stanton. The Narrative design team spent time polishing AI behaviors in the system to ensure its NPC population has the right look and feel. Additionally, they joined in on internal Pyro playtests, where they helped spot and address last-minute bug fixes. The team also supported the release of Alpha 3.20 with new missions, items, and locations. Personalized hangers this year? I don't know. I know we're going to get persistent hangers, but I don't know how personalized we'll be able to make them yet. They also published some stuff on narrative pieces last year. Real quick, I'm going to give you guys something nice and fun to look at. How about some HUD stuff? Because we're about to go over UI. And I will be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Y'all have fun, though. Enjoy the... I won't make you look at the chair. Enjoy the presenting.
We're
I
emitting
don't.
infrared, electromagnetic radiation, and also sound. If any of these go higher than the background levels, it will be easier for the enemies to detect us. Let's take a look at the bad guy's bone. As part of the emissions and radar tech, we also have the ability to scan while we're on foot. If we tap the button, we can do a quick scan to reveal everything, to reveal info about anything that's in our view currently. Okay, Bone, let's do a quick scan. This highlights whatever's in our line of sight. There's also some risk and reward to the scanning system. By holding the button, we can charge our scanner, and this reveals enemies through walls using a more powerful wave. But it does cause a spike in our emissions, which makes us easier to detect. Okay, let's do a charge scan, please, Bone. Okay. We can also see the augmented reality box outs, which give us a summary of what we've detected. Okay, let's have a look at our weapons. Let's get the gun out, please, Bone. Okay, we wanted to help the player see their equipment during combat, so we upgraded the weapons display. As well as the ammo in the gun and the spare mags in their pockets, we also now show the player's explosives and med pens. Okay, let's fight the bad guys. There you can see our new explosives marker, designed to help you spot deadly grenades, mines, and missiles more easily.
I got you covered.
Alrighty. Yay. Thanks, UI team.
Okay, well done, Bone.
Honestly, I really like what the UI is doing recently. You feel like Star Citizen has a low tech vibe? I think it kind of has a low tech vibe just because of the system we started in. Because they definitely kind of try and hit all of the sci-fi sort of cliches, right? Where's that architectural thing? I think this is what explains it best. They'll do this sort of low-tech old stuff, but then they've also got this really like high-tech era. Whoops. This high-tech era of super modernism and stuff that they haven't really touched on too much, except for a little bit at New Babbage, I guess, New Babbage and Orison. But yeah, Stanton is a little bit more low-tech. Cargo elevators are going to be big, also good monetization option. Cargo elevators will be great. Definitely think there will be high-tech areas. The whole manufacturing of Getek is as high-tech aliens as you can get. True. They hover and stuff. They got floating things. Yeah, I think it hits a good balance. I like it. It gets all of the things. All right, R&D team. In October, time was dedicated to cloud shaping improvements for use in Alpha 3.21 and beyond, which will allow the team to author more varied cloud content. For example, it is now easier to break up cloud fronts. The improvements also provide more flexibility in blending shape noise at height. As a result, the consistency of short versus long distance reads has improved and tiling from orbit is less noticeable. That was a very recent criticism. More improvements are planned, particularly with regards to improving detail at cloud fringes. The cloud advancements that they've done are great, but we're still not quite at that level that they were at CitizenCon 2021, I think it was, where you had your cloud sandwich, you had multiple layers, you had storms going on. They've got work to do, but they're getting places. I'll show you guys. Here are some of the shots of cloud improvements that they've made over the last couple of months in the engine.
And in this video, we are showing all the features combined together. In addition, we made many improvements to cloud shaping to allow for more variation and details. The shape noise blending, a vertical variation, has been improved a lot.
The ground fog, it just looks so good. It adds so much more depth.
Also, we made improvements to shorten long distance read, and the tiling is less visible.
So he's literally saying what they're saying in the monthly reports. So this is the video version of what we just read. And really look at like up here. You can see those sort of artifacts you always see in the clouds here that they're like flickering. Watch what happens when it improves. No more flickering. Like they really were able to eliminate that problem that we see. Jesus, and then the light shafts. This one is great too. That's just absurd. That's, I think, the best example of it. Look at how, like, look at how many artifacts there are going on with the clouds here. Whatever they did, I mean, it's insane. It's night and day. Hold on. Go back. Go back a little bit. Can we get like a half split here? Yeah, you can still see it a little. It's still there to some extent. But like the left side of the screen versus the right side of the screen is... I mean, just look at that. The difference between this right here and this over here is nuts. That's great work.
And best of all, we're going to include all these new features and improvements in the next 3.22 release. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So, yeah, that's what we're reading here in R&D. It's interesting to see that R&D stuff can come into the next patch. Like, I would think R&D means it's a ways out, but apparently, y'all are forward thinking. Yeah, so 3.22 in December. I think he said, did he say next patch or did he say Q4?
We're going to include all these new features and improvements in the next 3.22 release.
Yeah, so he says 3.22. Back to R&D, the first iteration of ground fog was also made available to the content teams, we just saw that, which follows terrain up to a specified height per location and fully integrates into the atmosphere. As a result, it receives volumetric shadows from both clouds and terrain, along with dampening direct and indirect light scattered through the atmosphere into the view ray. Can't wait until we have a place that has fog that's so dense that it actually like darkens, like at least a low-lying level of clouds. What I can't wait for, and I feel like I've never experienced this in a game, is where I can be above the clouds and see how sunny and nice it is, and then also go below the clouds of the fog and it's dark and it's dirty. That always amazes me when I do that, like taking off from a plane on from an airport, and it's like just miserable down at the airport, and then you get up, you go above the clouds, and it's super clean and nice. I want to experience that in Star Citizen, and I want to run a mission down there. And then run that mission for 30 minutes, get in my ship, and fly back out and be like, oh yeah, it's actually a nice day. Because I feel like that's just really novel. I realize I haven't been on camera talking to you guys. Gonna need another NAS to store all those screenshots. Yeah, Mrs. Tomato is working her way through all the footage. There's a lot. The Hurston experience. Right. You kind of get that from Hurston already. Alright, moreover, support was added to cast volumetric shadows from clouds into the atmosphere. This includes various optimizations to sample and evaluate volumetric cloud shadows. As a byproduct, volumetric cloud shadows now also update lazily to further reduce cost when the camera or sun isn't moving around significantly. Cloud shadow quality at low sun angles was also improved by compressing the available space in the shadow map to allow for more details around the camera. Additionally, a few long-standing issues with cloud rendering have been fixed. For example, the ghost lines on clouds that were occasionally visible when looking at them and towards the virtual plane horizon were fixed. Oh, those were terrible. I hope they can fix that in the caves too. And the setup of LOD constants for cloud shaping related texture lookups was updated to avoid excessive blurring when rendering clouds at half resolution. Lastly, work on ground fog resulted in various optimizations as well as a fix for subsample sized holes in planet terrain height maps. These height maps are used for various purposes, such as building planet terrain shadows or spawning GPU particles on the ground. The latter was especially subject to those holes as they could cause infrequently erratic spawning of particles. Hate those spawned erratic particles, you know? They ruin a good Tuesday. Wonder if that's cascading shadow maps? I don't know what the heck they're saying at this last part, fortunately. Sorry guys. Looking forward, work on the new temporal cloud render mode will commence in November. Cool. Last month, the VFX team completed their work on Pyro in preparation for Pyro transitioning into players' hands. Ho ho ho! Don't you love to hear a sentence like that? They also worked on the all-new water simulation and effects alongside the graphics team and provided VFX support for various other team CitizenCon presentations. Thank you, VFX. You did good. Overall, solid. Pretty cool. Good for them. I think this is it's definitely a smaller monthly report. We took plenty of time going over it, but it's a smaller monthly report. There's a lot of really, really good things in here, but it's not a lot of information. There's a lot of stuff that might be on pause. Bounty hunting specifically has not been mentioned here. Which is interesting. I don't know what's going on with bounty hunting. That's weird. There are a few things that didn't get mentioned in this monthly report. Stuff that's being worked on, stuff that's probably on hold. But there's also really, really good things that got mentioned. And I think, again, setting us up for a really good 322 and an even better 2024. Hello, Sean. How's it going? I'm assuming Mrs. Tomato just typed that message. You were asking which planet was used for scale. Oh, Earth was the answer. Okay, I see. The calm before the storm, the floodgates are opening. Better clouds, better screenshots, better ship sales. Hey, the poets, how you doing? Stream is going well, man. Thanks for dropping by. How you doing? Good to see ya. We got mods in chat. Hello, mods. Mrs. Tomato, I don't mean you. You're having fun. You're with friends. Have fun. Let's see. Should we hop in Pyro for a couple minutes? What time is it? Maybe we could do like a half hour in Pyro. I just want to check out the space station again, to be honest. Hope they fix that you can see the horizon line planet through the clouds. They just said that they did. Yeah. Can you elaborate on how Pyro will be implemented when live? Do we know if they'll have the wormholes yet? Or is it just going to be a separate server? When it goes live, it will be with the wormholes. It's not... yeah, it'll definitely be with the actual transition. They will. I don't think they're going to put it in live and limit it like that. What do I think? Is it actually speeding up? It is. Development has been speeding up for the last 2 years, I would say. And, you know... persistent entity streaming put a big damper in that speed up, but if you look at the general trajectory from 2017 until now, you will see that after around 2021-ish, things have started to speed up, at least on the player's end. On our end, we've started to know more significant features coming in faster and more quality of life improvements making those features better. But specifically this year, yeah, I think now that PES is largely behind them, it seems, and they're starting to shift a lot more focus towards server meshing, it seems like things are... they're getting that post-PES boost. And with server meshing, that'll only increase, because that also limits them quite a bit. Also, they got the monthly report out on the 1st of November. So their monthly reports are speeding up too. Good job, CIG. Whoa, what's going on with my screen? Oh, God, I hate... It's messing up my resolution. I think it's, come on. Ah, cool. Nope. It's messed up all my resolution. I hate it when it does this, guys. Oh, God. Full screen games suck. I'm going to have to change my computer's resolution, I think, real quick. Man. I use borderless, but this is the first time I'm opening the game. So it's automatically loading in full screen at the horribly wrong resolution. And it's breaking my display. This happens with Star Citizen too. It happens sometimes with PTU patches. Now what is it? Disconnecting? What is going on, man? Alright, maybe we're not going to play Pyro today. Yeah, I'll try Alt-Enter if I can get the game to run. Just joined the org. Bravo on the org video. That was really good. Thank you. That was not produced by myself. That was produced by Lord Skippy and friends. Got plans for more, though. Your game always likes to jump on the side monitor for no reason. It's like rearranged all of my windows. I gotta move them back. See what it does this time. Feel the pain as you're swapping displays to test the different PCs and get this resolution issue all the time. Yeah, man, that's why... Big ups to you for being somebody who tests PCs. I used to love PCs, but I hate them now, man. They highlight all my shortcomings. Okay, looks like we're good. What the... Get out of here, Gilded. Jeez. Alright. Now I can change my resolution back. And we're okay. That was fun. I could edit my config. That's also a true... That's a truth. Alright, Pyro. I'm here for you. Oh, we can stop this. Let me know if the stream starts lagging. It's trying to remux the recording we just did. I can turn that off. Starlight Service, Patch City, Obituary, Checkmate. I've logged in at Checkmate already. What's Patch City? Stop by the station for fuel supplies and a bit of entertainment. Starlight. Everything your vehicle and crews need for your journey through Pyro. Obituary. Fuel supplies and a bit of entertainment. And Checkmate. Offer outlaws traveling the system a place to stop for fuel supplies and a bit of entertainment. They do a lot of fuel supplies and a bit of entertainment, huh? Or is it a lot of entertainment in that case? Alright, let's try, Patch City, I guess. Just taking a quick look at this. Just to see what they're doing with it. Do I have a user file? Yes. Yes, indeed. On which patch is this city? It is the patch. By entertainment, they mean getting iced by the first player you come across. That's why I stick to space stations. They keep me safe. Finally whipping out the Christmas tomato merch. It's that time of year. I know Thanksgiving. I'm sorry. It's rude, but I love this shirt. C1 will be in the next patch, yes. We don't have a date though. Probably IAE. Does anybody know how much time they have spent on building interiors up to this point? Interiors of buildings? Space stations? Of what? Did I just spawn standing up? Oh. Okay, let's give this a cool minute to crash on us. Nice. No, we're good. Just let everything load in a little bit. I'm already liking the music. Can I turn that up? All right. Oh, this is the song they used during CitizenCon. I love that. I really enjoyed that song. So here we are. This hat looks pretty similar to what we would see in Stanton. Obviously, it's a bit dilapidated. Does it have lights? Okay. Having some music problems, huh? Let's turn off our QR code. Oh, there is no Armistice Zone here, so people are just getting killed out. Wait, why did I go to Patch City? Oh man, this was a bad idea. There's just dead bodies everywhere. Do I have anything to defend myself with? Okay, I have a gun. Do I have med pens? Oh, I just heard a door open. God dang it. Why did I just drop into a hostile area? And we're lagging. Guess you better get to a ship. What floor? Oh, I'm in the Hab building. Okay. Yeah, this is like old Grimhex. Checkmate Station had a armistice area. What happened to my gun? Oh my god, this lag is terrible. Hey, NPC. You know what happened here? Where are the Aesops? Where are the Aesop? Terminals. Hangar transit, ship hangars. Those are the elevators. Still loading the assets in. Can I not even access the Aesop terminals? Man, this place is just abandoned. Anybody know where I can find the Aesop terminals here? Elevators go to the Aesops? No, this is... Oh? Okay. Oh, so there's an armistice here. So it's certain parts of the station don't have armistice. That's fair. Eventually they'll probably enforce that with the gangs themselves. Oh, I think they spent plenty of time working on building interiors for cities, but I don't think they're ready to present that to us yet. These space stations are much bigger than the other ones in Stanton. Aesops are back the way I came. Alright. So this is a gang area. This is a faction. These are the rough and ready. They got their tattoos. Y'all got your tattoos? You guys really do not look intimidating. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to work on that, guys. Alright, let's go back the way we came. They're there? They're over here? Go down, they say. Go down. Whee! Hey! Y'all got some you just doing donuts over here? Y'all got some terminals for ships?
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Hi. I'm thinking we take something that's made for this kind of place. Of course, it doesn't actually have the shields for this place, but we're playing it by lore.
Vehicle select. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Alright, how do I reach Hangar 1 now? Are these the elevators? Yo, y'all need to get some doors. Oi. At least they work promptly. Dude, what the heck, guys? Is there just no air conditioning in here? Is that... These are just literally unused hangars. That's funny. Did I see the Astro Historian on the original settlers of Stanton? I didn't see the video yet, no. But I know that the Dusters are likely them. At least that's what we've been assuming. Whoop, 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 whoop. Why am I crawling? Get up. Get on your feet. Engineering state gameplay in the stations to keep it running. Maybe not here, but I do think that's going to be a pretty good application for engineering. Yeah, Dusters are coming in Q4. Let me out.
You are clear to launch.
What? That doesn't sound like what I would expect ATC in this place to sound like. He just came on and said, "You're clear to launch. You're good to go, buddy. Have a whippin' snappin' time, my friend." That's not Pyro.
Aerospace. All systems online. Takeoff complete.
Alright. Now to get out of here. First, I'm just going to head for a cluster to get us some space.
Thank you, and please visit again.
This is where we came from. I'm probably going to come back in and get a lot more footage and stuff. Right now, I just kind of want to show you guys some of the sights. So no real beauty shots at this point. Let me change up. Okay, the sound went off. Plus Pyro gameplay. Turns off the audio when I leave the game because it's default settings. Alright, so we can at least set up a camera. Put that on 8. grab another one. Put this on one. And let's grab one more. Put that on 9, and let's get rid of the camera bounce. I hate that. And this guy will be on 2. All right. What do you guys want to see? What are you interested in seeing here in Pyro? We've got a lot of options. There's a lot of different clusters of asteroids. There's Lagrange points without space stations. There's Lagrange points with space stations. There are 3 planets that we can access that we're currently flying away from all of them. You want to see Moss? So you want to go to Pyro 3, huh? Bloom? The Flying Tortoise. Oh, crap. That reminds me, guys, I've got a podcast to get to in about an hour, so we don't have too much time. I can't stay too long. If you are a supporter, though, if you are a supporter on YouTube, Twitch, or Patreon, I would love to have you guys join us. We're going to be talking with 2 folks who work in networking, generally in networking. We're going to talk about server meshing, applied outside of gaming and then inside of gaming, and sort of the specific application for Star Citizen and what it's looking like so far. So if you want to come, hit us up. We'll be there. It'll be live in Discord, not on the stream. Monkey Voodoo, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate the support. Hope you're enjoying. For everybody who's asking where the podcast is, there is a channel on the Discord for podcasts. If you can't see it, make sure to go into the channels and roles section and select that you're a podcast listener. That's how you'll be notified of when podcasts are happening live, and you'll have visibility of the channels. The channels are limited based on what people want to see so that we don't clutter people's Discord server too much. I'm not headed to any planet yet. I was just coming to these... this cluster of asteroids to see what's going on out here. Wow, look at these asteroids though. These are new assets, huh? Whoa. Wait a second. Dude. That's a big asset. Man, we've been looking at these on ISC since like 2021. With the subtle difference in light from the star, this actually is pretty cool. It feels like this could be the site of like an exploration mission. Some of these are a little less detailed. But I think that's okay in a field of rocks. Pretty. Very pretty. All right. Why don't we find ourselves something else to go see? So far, the sights are cool. Sure. But, how about we go, let's see, this is cluster PQE291. Also got some Lagrange points. Let's check out this Lagrange point real quick, and then we'll jump to Bloom. Can you not target these? Come on. What the heck? Alright, Pyro 3 Lagrange point 5 should be in this direction. Can I not jump there? Lagrange 2, Lagrange 1, 4, 4, Pyro 2, 5, 3, 4, Pyro 3, 1, 3, 2. Huh. That's weird that you can't jump to this one. I mean, it's like right here. Alright. How about then this one? No? So you just can't go to any of the Lagrange points. That's weird. Alright, we'll stop off at this cluster. Can't set routes with quantum active? It works for some of them. Need to buy the Terrapin again. It'd be nice if the Terrapin benefited from its role in this system. Protection from the sun. It should be a ship that can fly freely in Pyro without having to worry about these coronal mass ejections. As Mrs. Tomato said in chat, we were supposed to do a greenhouse podcast today. For anybody who's new and hasn't been to a greenhouse, we try to do community podcasts once every 1 month or two. We'll be doing one kind of on just general feelings about Star Citizen and CitizenCon in general. Mrs. Tomato wasn't here to moderate the room, so we're pushing it to next weekend. So on Saturday, if you'd like to be on the podcast, feel free to jump in. All it takes is a little bit of activity in Discord, and you'll be able to join us. So if you want to be in next week, I suggest joining now. Say hi to some folks. Just introduce yourself. That'll give you enough activity to come on the mic next week and talk about what you're thinking of Star Citizen so far. Terrapin best ship, but I think they need to do some work on the interior. Do we think CIG is going to give us Pyro possibly without server meshing, or just have all waves do some testing and then take it away until server meshing is ready? I think they will not put it live until server meshing is ready. Is the Terrapin more shielded from solar flares? Shoulder flares? It should be, but it's probably not. Certainly doesn't have the fastest quantum drive, does it? I'm not even paying attention to what distances we have going on. Was that 46 million kilometers? I feel like it should be further. 64 million? I guess I'm halfway through the system. So across the entire system, is this 64? Thousands, millions, yeah, 64 million kilometers. So the entire thing is about 130 million kilometers wide. How about Stanton in game? What does that look like? If I wanted to fly from one planet to the other, I'm flying like 30 million kilometers. How far in between the planets do we have to go in Stanton? I don't really remember. Whoa! Bro, I just went through an asteroid. Can't do that to me. Wow, though, these clusters are very pretty. Hope I'm not about to crash into anything. Alright, so these clusters look pretty similar to each other. So how about we continue on our way to Bloom? Pyro 3. There we go. Honestly, guys, the fact that this is our second star system and it looks this good. These environments. Longest jump between jump points in Stanton is 120 gigameters. Wait, are we running on gigameters? Am I miscounting? I guess gigameters would be millions. So then Stanton is about the same size as Pyro in game? Hey, thank you, Moondog. Or is that just jump point wise? Unit on the left is seconds. Unit on the left? Left of what? Pyro is 14 AU. How big's Stanton? Wouldn't giga be billion? Giga, kilo. Wait, mega, kilo. Yeah, I think you're right. Megameters. meters, kilometers, megameters, gigameters. Wait. Wouldn't that make megameters thousands? No, that's kilometers. Jesus. Getting confused. Stanton is 3 AU. Okay, so how long does it take to jump across Stanton? That's what I'm just trying to just understand the difference in travel times right now, because I don't pay attention to when we're jumping in Stanton, how long we're going. Pretty sure it's like 40 million, right? 40 million meters is the longest you can jump in Stanton. I feel like I jump from like Crusader to Microtech and I'm doing about 40 to 60 million. Tiny white numbers on the below the list of jump points on the left. I don't know what white units you're referring to. I see this. Around 50. Okay, so it's definitely going to take a lot longer to get around Pyro. Stock 400i needs 14 minutes to cross Stanton. I see. Okay, the 0 is the time it takes in seconds. Gotcha. You can jump way further than 40 in Stanton. I guess I'm more interested in planet to planet. I know the jump points are pretty further out. Here's Bloom. How you doing, Bloom? Oh boy. Apparently laggy. Well, the clouds definitely don't look as good as 2021, do they? Let's get down there and see what's up. We got the Yard, Shadowfall, Shepherd's Rest. Now, this planet is the most common planet for pirates in the Pyro system, from what I understand. So, you know, it might not be the kind of place we really want to hang out too much. But let's go see what the Moss looks like. Imagine if you still your 1070. Whew. They do definitely have more cloud shapes going on here. That is a definite improvement in cloud shaping. And once they get the new stuff in with 322, I'm sure it will look much better. But we still don't quite have this sort of two-layer stuff that they were showing us last 2 years ago with this planet. Let's dive down and see what's underneath the clouds. Hopefully it's better FPS. This is terrifying. I feel like I'm going to hit the ground. Honestly, I'd really love to be able to see the ground now. I don't know. Okay, there it is. Oh, God. All right. So you got this yellow planet with these sort of sloping mountains. Wow. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, it's just not rendering all that well for me. What GPU am I running? I'm on a 3080 Ti. Wow, this atmosphere is thick. I am flying so slow. Or I guess I'm in the terrapin. That's why. So we've got some bodies of water around here. Definitely feels more like a kind of, I don't know, these feel more natural in formation than some of what we see in Stanton. Some improved coastline. What? Radar lock? Am I near that ground location? Oh, yeah. In an MSR. Crap. Crap. Let's get out of here. I really shouldn't have. Me and Mrs. Tomato were talking about how it's going to be really hard for us to go to Pyro and have like any real fun because it's just constantly going to be tied to this name. They are following. Damn. Come on. Yeah, we're not going to make it out of here. Oh. Oh, they backed off. They're over it. We are in the clear. But I want to get... Let's see if we can find a sort of spot on the Terminator. Bueno Ravine. I don't know if there are any mines or caves here. I have not heard about any mines or caves. Bueno Ravine is hell. Bueno Ravine. Wow, look at those clouds. All right. Let's see if we can find a spot to land. The caves are looking good in Pyro. Are they rock caves, sand caves? What do they use as the biome type? Outpost is buried under ship carcasses. That's funny. Getting a little too close to that location. It's a new rock cave with luminescent stuff. Cool. What's happened to shields? I've got all power to thrusters. Some thick clouds. A lot of minables. I'm gonna try and find a place here to set down. A lot of minables, jeez. Let's see what we're looking at here. tell me. It's just not gonna give me the results. Man, scanning is so janky. Igneous deposits of titanium. Cool. Glad I came all the way to Pyro for titanium. Ah, I like that ridge up there. Let's land over there. It's kind of cool that Disrespect reacted to Squadron 42 in a positive manner. He has been positive about Star Citizen in the past. From what I've seen of his commentary on the game, he's always been of the mindset of wait and see what happens with it. Sounds like a cool thing, but they need to produce. And so it's not surprising that now that they're showing results, he's excited. This is a cool little spot. Settle down here. Nice.
Engines offline.
That is not the moss that we saw before. But I guess maybe that's on the rocks. Wow. This honestly, I don't know what it is, but this looks so much better as just a vista than the places in Stanton. I don't know why. This looks more believable, I guess. Also, that mountain overlay looks cool. Man, this is certainly not the moss that we were looking for. I don't know if maybe they downgraded or if we're just not finding the right spots. It is a beautiful place, though. But the foliage definitely doesn't come through like we were seeing on of CitizenCon. Let me pull that up real quick. Wow, that looks like a storm. Like an actual cloud front. So here's what it was looking like. So the grass looks similar, but the moss, where is this? That's the good looking stuff. So maybe maybe it's in a different biome or something. We shall see. Time to find the moss. First, let's see if there's any quick missions I could take that take us to an outpost here. Nice. It's nice that these are all local deliveries. Don't moss always grow on the opposite side of sunrise? My bad. Yeah, it might be more particular to water or something. Who knows, maybe I'm too high elevation. Away we go.
Landing gear raised.
Jesus. We're on just one part of that massive mountain range. Any news about Tony Z? What's he focusing on right now? He moved to the economy team, so they're focusing on just getting all of the little pieces in place for the economy to start working. Yeah, I think I did get radar logged. It made the sound, which was weird.
All systems offline. Enfield Aerospace. All systems online.
Where is this taking me? Quantum work is on hold until there's more to be done with it, y'all. What is this planet? Looks nice. This is Bloom. Pyro 3. Dominated by the color yellow. And low FPS. Dang, this place is far. Reese, you got your socks. Nice. How are they? They fit well. Honestly, I really like the socks that we're sending out. I think they're super high quality. I need to order a couple pair for this winter. Anybody like to keep your toes warm? Because if you do, we've got something for that. You were on Bloom earlier and it looked like Mordor. What was going on? Why did it look like Mordor? Everything's on fire? Do I weigh in on the renewed PvP discourse, or am I tired of it too? You mean about Pyro? I mean, my way in is that the game's unfinished and Pyro is a lawless system, and people are going to play this game not how it's meant to be played a lot right now. It'll still happen in the future, but right now, like, don't expect anybody to do what they're supposed to be doing. I love these little pools of water. This is such a cool biome. Oh man, like, if they can find a way to make FPS missions on places outside here where I'm gonna move more than 500 meters on foot to complete a mission, so that I can like see and appreciate these biomes up close, I would love that, because it's beautiful, but I just don't know when I would ever be on the ground to experience it in its fullness. Like, from this height, that's fine, but even now, why would I be flying at this height normally? I want reasons to be down on the ground really bad. Even if it's just rescuing somebody in a crashed vehicle out here or something. That'd be a good one, actually. Rescuing people from crashed vehicles. Great passenger transport missions. Has there been any customizable paints for ships? No. Man, and again, these locations that we find. What is that? Is that just some water? Oh, that's interesting. Thought I just heard another ship. This is so cool. These planets feel a lot more interesting to see, and maybe that's just because it's brand new. Maybe it'll be old soon. Something you do in the Prospector when you're looking for mineable rocks.
Warning, shields overheating.
Are there ships down there? I don't know what I'm supposed to expect at this place, but I guess we're about to find out. Yeah, there are definitely ships here. Hopefully they're not too mean. But I just came to check this place out. Just land in the middle of their city.
Engines offline.
What? Why are they shooting at me? Oops. That's not the button I wanted. Hostile AI? God, screw this shield. Ah. Huh. Wasn't expecting them to be hostile. They shot at me because I landed in the middle of their town. Move your ship! Okay, well, wasn't expecting to meet resistance, but sure. Yo, is that a derelict 600i? Nice. There are a lot of them. What the f... Oh, no! No! Ew! Oh my god, we gotta go, 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 we gotta go! Drop this! Let's go! Get in the seat! Animation's too slow! Where'd he go? As soon as I... Oh, shit. Okay. As soon as I take off, he's gonna know. He's gonna make a pass, and then I leave. Oh, he's landing. Yeah, that's right. Set down. That's right. How does he not realize I just turned my ship on? He's getting out! This guy just came in here and freaking nuked the place and then got out of his ship without knowing that there were other people here who could blow him up. I could go blow up his ship. I don't think I could in the Terrapin, to be honest. And I won't. Because I just came to explore this place. But man, that's not great piloting, man. Or that's not good pirating. Hello. Does he even know I'm here? What? Actually, he didn't missile the ships. I wonder what he was shooting missiles at. Maybe he's not trying to kill everybody. I thought he blew up the ships. Is that Vanguard still here? It is. I guess they weren't actually shooting at anybody. They were just, shock and awe. Anyways, guys, I need to get going. I gotta prepare for this podcast. Again, if anybody would like to join as supporters, you are free to. We'll be on the Discord. Just make sure to grab that podcast listener role. That'll expose the channel to you. But that's it. That's the end of it. Enjoy you all. Enjoyed some monthly report. October monthly report was small but sweet. I'm looking forward to the November one. Hopefully we can get that one soon. And a little peek at Pyro was nice. It's cool. I don't hate it. We'll have to see where this goes. I'm excited to see what these missions and these new locations and these planets are beautiful. Next week we will probably do some more exploration around these planets on Pyro and testing of tractor beams and stuff. But for now, that's been it, folks. Podcast is going to be with Panic Switch and Unobtainium. Unobtainium is the person who made the unofficial road to... Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. The unofficial road to dynamic server meshing, which is like a lot of people refer to this as a good sort of tool to kind of see how server meshing is working and progressing. So he made this, and then Panic Switch has some experience in the area. We're going to talk about server meshing and Star Citizen's goals for it and what they're aiming for. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'm gonna have to find somebody to raid real quick. Let's see. Can I give a link to the hold on a second. I'm gonna send y'all over to Paul, Captain's Table. There we go. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you. I'm gonna send you all over to Astropub. He's doing his podcast. I will be on there later, so if you guys stick around for the next 10-ish hours, you'll see me on his captain's table later tonight. Link to the podcast will be on the Discord server. Just look down below where it says Discord. That will send you there. Or if you're talking about the podcast itself, should pop up from the command !podcast. I'm not seeing that pop up. Check out, just look for Space Tomato. Launch sequence on any podcast platform. I don't have the link right here right now. All right, guys. I appreciate you all. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I'm not doing it live. It'll be on Discord. Podcast is on the Discord. I'll see you all later. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And catch you on Monday. Peace.